Once again, welcome to the fifth day. Am I correct? Fifth day of our 10-day program. I think it's the midpoint. We are now joined by, in the Zoom category, Asutosh Biswal, Devans Sai Slok, Dhaval Kantarat. Where are you from, Mr. Dhaval?
Sir, Omkar Prasad Rath.
Are you Omkar?
Yes, sir.
Where were you? You were missing for the last 4 or 5 days. What happened?
Sir, ମୁଁ ଗୋଟେ ଟ୍ରିପରେ ଥିଲି ତ ଜଏନ୍ କରିପାରିନଥିଲି।
Okay, no problem. No worries at all for you. Change your name to Omkar Rath.
Okay, sir.
You can change there. Temporarily you can change to Omkar Prasad. I think you have a Prasad. Or simply Omkar Rath.
Omkar Prasad Rath.
Prasad is there, I know. You are okay. And Payoja Samal Swamjit Mahanti, but Vismay Tripathi is missing. Very easy. So, till yesterday, we have been doing or concentrating mostly on writing equations. And if it is a reaction carried out in aqueous solution, then we can convert it into ionic equation. And we know the methods to balance any kind of redox. Of course, non-redox reactions, they do not need any special technique. Thus, just hit and trial. In what I used to say, inspection method. And you know, if you write the formula, any formula wrong, then you can break your head into 100 pieces, you cannot balance. So the utmost aspect of handling chemical equations is to write correct formula. Say, let me share my screen without any delay. Say, I'll ask you to write down a because you know Devans and those who are debutants to my classes, they're debuting, they're debutants. And now we are joined by Vaibhav Mahanti. That the entire world of chemical reactions, they belong to only two categories. Any chemical change can be either redox, where there is a change in oxidation number, or we can say there is a loss and gain of electron. Oxidizing agent will be gaining electron and will be reduced. And the reducing agent will lose electron and it will be oxidized. So the oxidation number increases for the reducing agent and the oxidation number decreases for the oxidizing agent. There are some typical redox reactions which are called disproportionation reactions, in which the oxidation number increases and decreases with respect to a single element. But the other category is non-redox, which we, means I, apply the American nomenclature, naming that metathesis. This word is not very popular here. Therefore, I say both non-redox or metathesis. And for non-redox type, say for example, there are so many 11 types of non-redox. We have discussed in our previous programs, but it's not a big deal at all. Say I say the first one is double displacement. I'm not going to write all these things. Don't worry. Say I say potassium chromate solution is mixed with, say, say potassium phosphate is mixed with, say, barium chloride. And you will definitely get a precipitate, white precipitate of barium phosphate, and in the solution you will get potassium chloride, which is soluble. So can you write down the product and apply the solubility rule to indicate which one is aqueous or soluble in water, can be split into positive and negative ions? We are still missing Mr. Visma Tripathy. So quickly finish it and welcome those who have started watching from the YouTube. Welcome to the 5th day, if I am not, yes, I'm correct, 5th day of our program. Today's program will be centering around mole concept and related things. And several typical problems based on mole concept. Mole concept is a very big word, big term. That includes stoichiometric calculation. Everything is included. Everything. Any chemical arithmetic. What we used to say chemical arithmetic is based on mole. Mole concept can be used to describe everything which involves any chemical calculations. Swamjit is ready. Chinmarita is missing. Chinmarita has come. So write down the double displacement reaction for these two chemicals. We prepare the solution and mix them, and we get a precipitate. This is double displacement. This is a non-redox type. So without any delay, those who are new and are not acquainted with our program, let me tell you, Devans and others who have debuted today, that there are guys who have attended our courses, our camps, we call online camps, multiple times in their class 9, 10. So this is a revision to their utter satisfaction, because everything usually is volatilized out once you do not remain in touch. So this is potassium phosphate, K3PO4. Phosphate is 3 minus, potassium is 1 plus, so the formula is K3PO4. And barium is 2 plus and chloride is 1 minus, so BaCl2. So there will be a double displacement reaction. It's not that BaPO4. Ba is 2 plus, phosphate is 3 minus, so it is Ba3 PO4 whole 2 plus KCl. And after having written this, the balancing is a बाएं हाथ का खेल. Is बाएं हाथ का खेल. Nobody, faces any difficulty because there are 2 phosphate ions here, so it will be 2 here. And there will be 3 barium, and we make 3 here. So automatically 6, 6, this will be 6. So it's balanced. But if you write BaPO4 as Ba3PO4 whole 2 instead of that, if you write this, then you can break your head into several pieces. You will fail to balance. The conservation of mass, the material balance will happen in chemical reaction equations only when you write correct formula. And we had seen yesterday how in redox type, say I'm giving redox type. It's simple reactions can be balanced easily. Say ammonia plus O2 in presence of platinum and 800 degrees Celsius, you get NO, nitric oxide and water. So for this, you don't try hit and try. You don't try. If you have mugged up, memorized the coefficients, it's well and good. But it is always better to apply the ON method, the oxidation number method that we had discussed. Bisma, you are late.
Sir, network problem thala hounathala.
Oh, network problem. That is definitely some people, I think you are not that kind of people. Some people, they take a plea, they take pleas only to evade their wrongdoing. Truth. They don't have a habit of telling the truth. Some people are, pathological liars. Oh yes, majority of us, including me, tell lies when it is needed. It is needed. With a lot of fighting against our conscience, we sometimes tell lies. But the pathological liar is some guy who will enjoy telling lies whenever there is a situation, a chance to maybe create fun or to outwit someone, they will tell lies. Those are called pathological lies. You're not that. So, have you balanced this equation, anyone? Ammonia plus O2 giving you nitric oxide and water. This is not to be balanced by ON method, because that needs to first equalize the number of electrons lost with the number of electrons gained. That is the logic. Then only the balance is correct. Otherwise, it's not wise to think of a number and then try a different one, and then no, it's not. So yes, 2 hands raised. Devan Saislok is very smart. So Bhishma Tripathi, Payoja, why you were lagging behind? So Devans, can you tell me how did you do? What was your tarika? What was your method?
Sir, for me, sir, it was kind of visible that what numbers should be fitting.
Musical number?
No, sir. Sir, it was visible to me, sir, what exact numbers would be fitting. So I just would.
It's not visible?
Sir, it is visible, sir.
No, what I wanted to know from you that did you apply any specific method or you applied your memory, you retrieved
And
your
no,
memory.
sir, I did not apply any
Then tell me
specific.
what method you applied to balance this
Sir,
equation.
sir, it is kind of, sir, written trials because, sir,
It's a kind of
it was a
written.
feasibility.
What? Written.
Sir,
I'm
I
not able
used
to
the hidden
hear.
trial method.
Hmm?
Sir, I used the hidden trial method, sir. Not-
No. Yes, Swayam. कौन हला
Yes, sir.
coefficients कौन हला?
Sir, 4 ammonia plus 5 O2 gives rise to 4 nitrogen oxide plus 6 water.
कौन कोला? Can you explain to me how did you get these numbers?
Sir, oxidation number method रे sir ammonia रे जो nitrogen थला sir तारा हला -3 sir
So
जो
the oxidation number of nitrogen in ammonia is -3 and in NO
+2
+2. So what is the change in oxidation number?
sir 5
5. So 5 is to be multiplied with the other reagent. This is the oxidizing agent and this is the reducing agent. And then
and
continue.
then oxygen रा 0 और but
0
water
goes to -2.
-2
So what is the change?
sir 2 change किंतु 2टा
Yes,
atom
precisely the change per atom is 2. But there are 2 atoms in the agent. In the agent. So the total change is 2 into 2, 4. So 4 is to be multiplied with the reducing agent, thereby ensuring that the total number of electrons lost by 4 ammonia, 4 5s are 20 electrons are lost. If one nitrogen loses 5 electrons, though hypothetically, but yes, it has got some logic that is going on inside so that our calculation, our balancing becomes easy, logical. So it loses 5 electrons. So 4 ammonia will lose 20 electrons and one oxygen molecule will gain 4 electrons. One atom, 2. So one molecule, 4 and 5 molecules will gain 5 fours are 20 electrons. So that is the main thing to be established before. Then hidden trial. इधर 4 है तो इधर हमको 4 करना पड़ेगा. तो इधर हाइड्रोजन है 4 3s are 12 तो इसको हम 6 करना पड़ेगा. That is the second part is बाएं हाथ का खेल. आराम रे तक hidden trial method रे तक करि परियो. But first thing is this one. So we have many non-redox type. Let me remind you a few one. Say a carbonate salt. When I write this one, this is a soluble carbonate salt. I could have written calcium carbonate, that I cannot write CO3 2 minus because it's not soluble in water. Sparingly soluble. I'm writing this one and this one. What will be your answer? Any carbonate salt, now I will be dealing with ionic equations when required. When we have soluble substances reacting, maybe insoluble substance coming as product doesn't matter, but we are handling soluble substances in aqueous solution, then it is better to go for ionic equation rather than molecular. Yes, Bismarck?
Sir, CO2 gas, H2O, और it is salt.
Salt.
And
Are you
मैंने एक
kidding
ही था.
me? I'm not interested in the molecular equation. I'm simply interested in ionic equation. So what will be your answer?
Sir, CO2 gas plus H2O.
That's it. Doesn't matter. सोडियम की कैल्शियम की कैल्शियम थिले हम एमती लेखी थांते बट कैल्शियम थिले हम एमती लेखी थांते as a sulfate ion लेकिन होता है, because that is a spectator. Doesn't matter sulfate ki chloride ki con, doesn't matter, any acid. So acid will decompose carbonates to produce carbon dioxide, which is Z, and water is liquid. Z, but here we have to write Ca2 plus because in the ionic equation we could not separate them into positive and negative ions. ये अगर हो सकता था तो हमने इसी तरह कार्बोनेट आयन लेते थे, ले सकते थे, लेकिन यहां हम नहीं ले पाएंगे क्योंकि कैल्शियम कार्बोनेट असल से सॉल्युबल नहीं है, तो इसीलिए हमको कैल्शियम आयन निकलेगा प्लस वाटर. इसको बैलेंस हम आराम से कर सकते हैं. So 2H plus, so that will be giving you water, and that's very simple. Similarly, you can take any sulfide salt or bisulfide salt, add with water, you get what? You just write down. थोड़ा सा अलग करेंगे हम इस टाइम, थोड़ा सा अलग करेंगे. हमने ये सब पढ़ चुके हैं कब? 9th क्लास में, जब हम 9th क्लास में थे. अब पता नहीं हम कब थे, ये तो हिस्ट्री हो गया है, तो इसीलिए हमने रिवीजन करना पसंद करते हैं, क्योंकि हमारे बीच बहुत नए हैं, और दोज हु आर वाचिंग विल बी वाचिंग इन द यूट्यूब, दे विल आल्सो बी interested to continue, otherwise they will stop. Or say thiosulfate salt, potassium thiosulfate with any mineral acid. And I always told you that the mineral acid that you choose for chemical reaction, these are called gas formation reaction. Gas formation reaction, the first one, the gas formation reaction. And you can take dilute sulfuric acid, all dilute. Do not take nitric acid or any other acid. Nitric acid is damaging. Do not take HBr, because bromide ion is a good oxidant. Sometimes it will be producing bromine. So yeah, you can take, but never expect that some mishappening might not occur. So always prefer, choose hydrochloric acid and sulfuric acid, and that to dilute. And tell me what will happen. Then I take here, ferrous sulfide is not soluble in water, and nitrite salt with acid. So you have to write down the ionic equation. पायो जी मैंने राम रतन घन पायो, पायो जी मैंने राम रतन घन पायो. ଟିକେ ତମ ନାଁକୁ ଚେଞ୍ଜ କରୁଛି, if you allow me, Mr. ଓମକାର, ତ ପୁଣି ଧବଳ ହେଇଗଲାଣି. Change. So I changed to Omkar. It will be temporary, because once I see, I can see Omkar. Okay, Kar Sarla. Don't worry, I will also talk in Odia. And you know, I don't shy away in telling in any of the languages I know. And being an inhabitant and born in Odisha, I prefer to talk in Odia. But since guys, you are entering into a phase where English speaking, English writing, English conversation will be more rewarding for your future career. Therefore, I'm deliberately using English in most of my conversations, my teachings. But no, yes, to make you more familiar and more interested in our program, since this is, my viewers will be mostly belonging to the state of Odisha. So I would definitely prefer changing over to Odia. And of course, the national language Hindi, whenever needed. Yes. Karsala. Bioja कहले प्रथमटा कोन होबो?
सर सल्फर डाइऑक्साइड बाहरिबो.
गोटे गंधिया गैस बाहरिबो, ताको कहती बर्निंग सल्फर स्मेल. गंधिया माने H2S भलिया रॉटन एग नै. ये गोटे अलग प्रकार सल्फर जेमती जली जाउची प्लस
water.
वाटर एटा कोन हो के कहबो आउ जने को विस्मय कहले एटा कोन हो
Sir, SO2 plus S2 minus
आर यू
plus
किडिंग
water.
मी यस सोमजीत
सर सल्फर डाइऑक्साइड और वाटर।
आर यू किडिंग मी आयो जी मैंने कोन हो आजा
Sir, sir कहि परिबेनी.
ना कहि
Sir,
परिबो
sir,
गोटे हिंट दे दोची एटा ठीक अछि आ गोटे
sir,
प्रोडक्ट
out there,
यस मिस्टर त्रिपाठी यस
sir, sulfur dioxide plus water plus S2 minus.
S2 माइनस तो गोटे आयन हे गला नो नो सल्फर टा कोन ये +2 रु -2 को गला नो 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 सब बेले 0 को आसे तो भूली जाइछो कंप्लीटली भूली जाइछो थायोसल्फेट इज ए कजिन ऑफ सल्फाइड SO2 दबो नॉट सल्फेट चेहरा सल्फेट भलिया तार स्ट्रक्चर सल्फेट भलिया किंतु जे कजिन कहार ना सल्फाइड रो एटा कोन लिबि गलानी से कजिन सल्फाइड रो सो एई जोटा तुमको कहिथिली मने पकाओ जे थायोसल्फेट रे एक्स मेथड रे बाहरिबो +2 ऑक्सीडेशन नंबर बट एक्चुअली +2 केही नाही कोन कोन अछि मझिटा +4 एटा 0 सो दी प्रकार रो सल्फर एटी अछि बट आमे देखेला बेलकु +2 एवरेज देखै परिबा एंड +2 रु +4 गला एटी किंतु एक्चुअली एटी रिडॉक्स रिएक्शन एटा नुहे एटा नॉन रिडॉक्स सो +4 टा +4 रहिला एटी लिखि +4 एंड 0 सो 0 टा 0 रे रहिला सो सल्फर येलो प्रेसिपिटेट विल बी फॉर्म्ड मु कहिछि ना कहिनी तमे कहि परिबो तुम हठात कंफ्यूज हे जो अरे केते बेले सर कहिथिबे हमर मने नाही हमें तेल लुण संसार रे भासी गलु कार मने पडुची कहला भलिया हाथ टेक कहला भलिया कार मने पडुची बी ऑनेस्ट तो मने न पडुची अलगा कथा ओके अरे गोटे टीचर ला इंक्लूडिंग मी यदि पढ़ेबा 15 दिन मासे छाड़ी दबो से भूली जो पाठ ताको सब बेले टच रे रखियो पढ़िबा को पड़िबो दैट इज इवन सिंगर जदि प्रैक्टिस न करिवो रिवाज न करिवो फॉर ए मंथ कहीं 15 दिन इमीडिएटली तार इंपैक्ट पड़िबो तार बेसरिया गाइबो सेति पइया जेते बयस हो गले भी जो माने बड़ बड़ सिंगर माने सेमान जदि चाहती छाड़ देबे तो छाड़ देबे आ गाइबेनी यदि गाइबे केते फंक्शन रे जाइकरी सेमान रिवाज करियो निश्चय मे बी अल्टरनेट डे रे करि पारती अधिकांश डेली करती तो सल्फर टा गोटे येलो प्रेसिपिटेट बाहरिबो सो people will mistake it to be a redox reaction because if you take the average +2 x method रे बाहरियो +2 टा +4 जाइछि बढ़िला +2 टा 0 को जाइछि कमिला so it is a redox reaction no it is not redox it is non redox then एटा कोन होबो yes बायोजी
Sir, sulfur gas madam.
sulfur would come gas are you kidding me
मैंने sorry.
ଆଉ ଅନ୍ୟମାନେ ଟ୍ରାଏ କର ଚିନ୍ମୟିତା yes Vishnu
Sir, H2S plus Fe2 plus.
yes the rotonex 80 sulfide it ଅଛି 80 H plus ମିଶିକିରି H2S ହେଇଯିବ that is a rotten egg smelling gas plus
Fe2 plus.
Fe2 plus ଆମେ ଆନିक इक्वेशन अगर एठी HCl देनी कि H2SO4 देनी हेले तमे फेरस सल्फेट लिखथा तमे मु त कोन पे तमे you are attending uranium advanced classes it's not a regular coaching classes that you will join very soon and ये कोई nitrite salt sodium or potassium whatever nitrite salts will be treated with the dilute acid you get gas these are called gas formation reaction কে হাত টেকিছি ভাই হাত টেকিছে না হাত টেকাটা কম ইয়ে করো না
ନା ସାର୍ ଟେକିଛେ
হ্যাঁ କହିଲ
ସାର୍ ଏନି ନାଇଟ୍ରୋଜେନ ଅକ୍ସାଇଡ ବାହାରିବ
ଏନେ କଣ କହିଲ ମୁଁ ଶୁଣି ପାରିଲିନି
ସାର୍ ଯେକୌଣସି ପ୍ରକାର ନାଇଟ୍ରୋଜେନ ଅକ୍ସାଇଡ ବାହାରିବ
no, 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 no. I'm sorry, Miss Parvaja. So, Omkar କହିବେ
ସାର୍ NO2 ଆଉ O2
NO2 ଆଉ
O2
I'm sorry, no. ଭୁଲିଗଲେଣି ସବୁ ସ୍ୱୟଂ କହିଲ
sir
ୱାଟର ତ ବାହାରିବ
water NO plus NO2
yes ଦିଟା ଗ୍ୟାସ ବାହାରିବ NO and NO2 ହଁ ଏଇଟା ultimately ଗୋଟେ ରିଡକ୍ସ ରିଆକ୍ସନ ହେଇଯିବ ରୁମ୍ ଟେମ୍ପରେଚରରେ ରୁମ୍ ଟେମ୍ପରେଚରରେ ଯଦି ରିଆକ୍ସନଟା ଆମେ କରୁଛେ 0 ଡିଗ୍ରୀରେ ହେଲେ ମେଟାଥେସିସ୍ ମୁଁ କହିଥିଲି ଏଇଟା ରିଡକ୍ସ ହେଇଯିବ କାହିଁକି ନା ଏଇଟା +3 ରୁ ଏଇଟା ଗଲା +4 କୁ ବଢିଲା +3 ରୁ +2 କୁ କମିଲା କିନ୍ତୁ ଆକ୍ଚୁଆଲି ଏଇଟା ଗୋଟେ ତାର ଜନ୍ମ ମେଟାଥେସିସ୍ ମାନେ ନନ୍ ରିଡକ୍ସ ଯଦି ସେଇ ରିଆକ୍ସନଟା ଆମେ କରିବା at 0 degree Celsius ଥଣ୍ଡାରେ ତାହେଲେ you will get its HNO2 and ତାର corresponding anhydride ହେଉଛି N2O3 plus water. N2O3 is the anhydride of nitrous acid. I have told you how to get the anhydride. Since there is one hydrogen, you have to remove water. So you have to take 2 nitrous acid. So you have to make it even with the lowest number. And then remove water. The remaining is N2O3. H2O goes. So dinitrogen trioxide is the anhydride of nitrous acid. So that will be formed, which is +3 and +3. But when we are carrying out at elevated temperature, even room temperature, after 5 degrees it breaks. So it breaks to NO and NO2. See, if you add up NO with NO2, you will get N2O3. So this is a colorless gas, but this is a reddish brown gas. So the indication is if you get a reddish brown gas by adding a dilute acid like sulfuric and hydrochloric with any salt, if you get a reddish brown gas, then undoubtedly the salt is a nitrite salt, not nitrate. Nitrate will never ever give any nitrogen dioxide gas with dilute acids. It will give with concentrated sulfuric acid on heating, different story altogether. So, and we have several double displacement reactions like, let's say, potassium ferrocyanide. This is a yellow solution. Yellow solution is AC. So therefore, I would prefer to write the ferrocyanide ion just to make a change, to make a change in the test with say copper ion. You add copper sulfate, which is soluble with potassium ferrocyanide. So you get a chocolate brown precipitate, just like the chocolate that you get, cocoa chocolate. Very good to look at. So hello guys who are watching in the YouTube, please say hi to me so that I will be happy that at least someone is watching with all sincerity and following us. I know many guys are watching later because when I look to my analytics, I find that live watching is less, but watching later is more. Bisma Tripathi is ready with answer. Swayamjeet Mahanti, I have told you, and I'm repeating that because some new guys are coming, that if you do not enter into multiple coachings, or you do not have time. Let me be very specific. If you do not have time, then you should not be with me for continuous basis, on a continuous basis. But if you have time, I can guide you on a continuous basis. Guide. I don't say I will tutoring. Tutoring. That word is very common in US. Tuition is not the only prerogative or the truth in Indian context. It is omnipresent. A tuition word is tutoring. So there are hundreds in one colony. You find there are so many home tutors in different subjects. Someone is tutoring English to the non-English guys who are coming to US. Someone is tutoring in chemistry. Someone tutoring in physics, and tutoring is common in all places in the world. So it's not a term to be shunned, to be hated. As some people say that, no, you are going to school, so there is no tuition. Okay, that is good. But school, in classroom, there are 40 students, for example, out of which maybe 10 or 20 are really good to study science. Others, they do not have a scientific acumen to analyze science and study. So how the teacher will deliver in a heterogeneous gathering containing less average students, more in number than average and below, average and above average students. So therefore, he has to maintain a mediocre level, not even intermediate, a lower level to complete the course. So that will not, satisfy those who are hungry of knowledge. So they have to take coaching, maybe the same teacher after the school hours, if he is free or you are free, or at his home or any coaching places. So that is not at all illegal. So on a continuous basis, if you want to remain with me, then the first and foremost is you have to give me pleasure. How you can give a teacher like me pleasure? By being sincere, by being interactive, by solving the home task that will be given from time to time. So that will be done. And even if that number is reduced to 1, I can spend time with you. And the other one, if you are really good, really brilliant, then you may not join in a regular basis with me. And by the way, nowadays, I don't receive any tuition fee for that. I teach free. Some people are astonished now, but those who are with me on a free basis, they have realized that yes, it is possible. But how a person can be so accountable to my words, my sons or my daughters' course, who is striving for IIT Advanced or maybe NEET in a very high position, or Niger or any other good place. How a person can guide without receiving a financial, pecuniary, assistance? It's not possible. Yes, it is not possible for certain age, certain thing, but it is possible when you decide that I am doing for what? I am doing for my satisfaction, my pleasure. If that is the case, the requirement is you have to be reciprocative and as well humble, and that's it. And the other category, if you are good and you are humble, you can take the help intermittently when you have some doubt in your coaching programs. If some problem you are not able to understand from the book or from your coaching places, still you cannot clarify your doubts because your teacher there doesn't have time to cater to your needs. But that is a high level, not a lower level doubt. That I'm sorry, I'll not get time or I'll not get the interest to do that. Oh, so tell me, yes, Asutosh Biswal, what about Koilo?
Fe plus Cu2CN6.
Are you kidding me? This is a double displacement reaction. This is a chocolate brown precipitate को कौची तुम्हें पायोजी कोइलो
Sir, Cu2 तापरे FeCN6.
precisely correct. This will be a double displacement reaction and it's the गोटे लेखा partner को हमें फोपाड़ दीजिए. So गोटे गोटे partner जे की मिसिबे जे की कोवलेंट बॉन्ड रे मिसिबे एवं गଳି पड़िबे तळकू सेही माने हेले से दीटा को मु देइछि अन्य स्पेक्टेटर पार्टनर को मु हटेई सारिछि ऑलरेडी. So you get copper 2 ferrocyanide because copper is 2 plus, this is 4 minus. So you simplify because this is empirical formula. So crossover rule will give you the formula. This is a ready chocolate brown. You will be knowing the color of the precipitates. You have to know, even if I'm told that nowadays, even in schools, practicals are almost going to be extinct. They are not doing any practicals, only theory. As I'm told from many school guys, including the CBSE, I mean DAB. But those who are in a setup, laboratory setup, erstwhile +2, now turned into higher secondary school, they have a setup. They might be having the regular laboratory practical classes. Okay, we stop here. Further discussion here, one thing I can remind you, any ammonium salt with any alkali, OH minus. So here I would like to give you some, we do this reaction in a solid phase. For example, you take ammonium chloride solid, mix up with calcium oxide, quicklime solid phase reaction and heat it. Then you can also get me the answer. And here in the aqueous phase reaction where ammonium chloride is dissolved in water and sodium hydroxide is added and a mild warming is heating is done, then you have to tell me what happens to when any ammonium salt is heated with a base, maybe calcium, sodium, or whatever, oxide or hydroxide, doesn't matter. Because oxides and hydroxides of metals are called bases. There are some exceptions. Non-metallic bases like ammonia is a base, but it's a very weak base. So what will happen? Master Asutosh Koilo?
NH3CaCl2.
Yes, precisely. The logic is you get ammonia gas. Any ammonium salt re any base re heat kole ammonia baharibo ebong you can rationalize what will be the salt form, calcium chloride, and obviously water will be formed. Kana ye hydrogen does excess roila it oxygen water, then balancing a बाहर का क्या क्योंकि ये non-redox reaction है, nitrogen 80 -3 अच्छी 80 -3 अच्छी. So you can balance it. Balance with the H in account 9. CaCl2 na ethi 2 kariyako padibo, ethi 2 ammonia kariyako padibo, then only there will be H ethi badhila gote, oh yes 2 kariyako padibo. Se ethi se khali ammonia plus water, ethi khali ammonia plus water, so ethi 2 nahi H2 khali setting, it is already balanced. Hello and welcome those who are watching from the YouTube, and if you are following us, say hi to me in the chat box, or hello to me. I'm not a teacher of some typical schools where you have been in the habit of just breaking your head near the feet or on the feet of a teacher. You have been told, I don't say it is bad, but I used to teach the students to say, if you are comfortable, say hi, hello. That is equally hello sir, hello ma'am, or that is equally comfortable with us. Now, without any further delay, ମୁଁ ମଝିରେ ଏମିତି କରେଇବି। ଆଚ୍ଛା ଗୋଟେ କହିଲ ଦେଖିବା, ଏଇଟା सेम सॉल्ट एसिड देली बेस देली, एथरे कोन एथरे हीट दरकार नहीं, एथरे टिके हीट दरकार, एथरे कोन बोथ आर नॉन रिडॉक्स टाइप, किंतु ऊपरटा जेहेतु रूम टेम्परेचर मु कहि दूची ହେଲା। ପାଉଛ
ସାର୍ ଆମୋନିଆ ବାହାରିବ, ନାଇଟ୍ରୋଜେନ ଡାଇଅକ୍ସାଇଡ ଆଉ ନାଇଟ୍ରୋଜେନ
ଏଠି ଆମୋନିଆ ବାହାରିବ? नो, इनकरेक्ट। विश्व
Sir, HCl जो रहेगा NH4Cl plus NO2 plus H2,
NH4Cl plus
NO2 plus H2O.
no, समझित
सर अमोनियम क्लोराइड प्लस HNO2।
HNO2 टा कॉन्स्टेबल एबे पर जानथिलो नाइट्राइट सॉल्ट रे कोन हबो, नाइट्राइट सॉल्ट रे मोटी लेखिथिली, एइटा भूली गरणी, एबे लेखिथिली नाइट्राइट सॉल्ट रे कोन हबो, एठी लेखिथिली ता भूली गरणी, से अमोनियम नाइट्रेट हो, सोडियम नाइट्रेट हो, ई स्वयंजित नाइट्राइट हो, कोन हबो
NO प्लस NO2।
एनी नाइट्राइट, एटी हीरो होच नाइट्राइट, अमोनियम टा स्पेक्टेटर, NO plus NO2 plus water, जेहेतु एटा मॉलिक्यूलर इक्वेशन अछि, म अमोनियम क्लोराइड लिखियो पड़ला, नोने यार आयोनिक इक्वेशन इतले NO2 इतले तमे आराम रे लिखि परता, मु कंफ्यूज करियो को एटा अमोनियम देली, किंतु एठी अमोनियम टा हीरो, नाइट्राइट टा स्पेक्टेटर, सेकेंडरी जो एनी अमोनियम सॉल्ट संगरे अल्कली बा बेस देख हीट कले अमोनिया गैस भरी, एठी अमोनिया बारी प्लस एठी NaNO2 रहइबो, बिकॉज़ नाइट्राइट आयन रो रोल किछि नाही, base will not make any change to nitrite ion, acid ताको डिकम्पोज कर दबो, so NaNO2 plus water, so एठी अमोनियम आयन हीरो, एठी नाइट्राइट आयन हीरो, बोला देखलो तो। Now in reaction like this, say PbO2 solid, ताको इधर HCl concentrated HCl पकेले act, एटा तमे कोन भाबियो, how do you think will it be metathesis or a redox reaction, what the mind रे कौन आसिबो मु छोट छोट reaction redox reaction दउछि एवं कमिंग 5 days जाक मु reactions करेबी किंतु खाली reaction करेबी एठी I think I will be expecting my cup of tea. It will come and I will change the subject. रथे रथे कहला
Sir, PbCl4 plus H2.
PbCl4 plus water. So it is a very logical guess. कारण एठी लेट रो से देखिला ऑक्सीडेशन नंबर होची +4. So since it is metathesis बोले से भाबिला तो एठी +4 बिली कला PbCl4. But we say plumbic chloride. Now the stock notation जो आसीची आउ plumbus plumbic के कोनांत आउ सुविधा है lead 2 chloride or lead 2 nitrate lead 4 nitrate तो भलो हला ऑस्टिक जो घोषा होतला से हो नाही lead 2 lead 4 अब मन रखे पड़ियो lead रो दीटा स्टेट होची 2 and 4 सेता मन रखे पड़ियो सेटा बेटर देन ऑस्टिक कार ऑस्टिक 1 2 तो कार ऑस्टिक 2 3 कार 3 2 3 कार 1 3 गोल्ड रो 1 3 ए टाइप रो सेति भाई English name with Roman oxidation state in Roman, that is better. Stock notation. तो आउ कौन के कहूँ एटा करेक्ट ना इनकरेक्ट आउ के कौन आंसर दो कौन बंद कर देला हाथ समस्त कौन इतरे एकमत विश्वा
again.
नो दिस इज रॉन्ग काहे कि तमे जानिबो सब जिंसर लॉजिक जानिबो घोषिले सेही तो प्रॉब्लम हुए केमिस्ट्री टाको घोषि घासी देकरी कर दियंती भलो तो अल्टीमेटली केमिस्ट्री छाड़ दियंती दे डोंट स्टडी इन फ्यूचर आउ sorry to say that majority of guys who do not get elsewhere pursue chemistry because takara kichhi miluni they don't love chemistry but they are under duress nahaku poduchi I'm not saying all majority because chemistry is not a lovable subject in +2 I'm saying in a general sense not in a specific sense that you are getting a good guide who can motivate you, who can give you the logic. I'm not saying indirectly my name, but I am a gone case. My expiry date has already gone. Just like medicine cannot be taken when you find the expiry date is over. This is similar to my situation. I'm thinking, I sir, I'm expiry date chahini. Okay, that's your greatness. You are thinking in that way. But be careful that you are under the guidance of a person whose expiry date has gone. His expiry date has gone. Okay. But you will know after some time that lead has a very, very unstable +4 state. Very, very unstable +4 state. Eta achi lead 4 oxide. Eta lead 4 oxide. Eta to dechi plumbic oxide. This is very unstable. ताको जदि छाड़ दे कि पळेबो तो गाँ रु आसला से हे जाइथिबो PbO and O2 पळेथिबो ताको बैलेंस करे दरकार नै से O2 पळेथिबो PbO हे जाइथिबो एटा करिकरी अल्प समय भितरे ताको यूज करियो पड़िबो रखि देले से गला it is a very strong OA. सी चाहिए केमती +4 रु +2 की जीव तर तो जोड़ी स्टेट +4 तो तलटा होची +2 so later +2 टा more stable, much more stable than +4. +4 टा unstable. Therefore PbO2 acts as a very good oxidant wanting a reductant. The -1 अछि chlorine तो -1 अछि that is a reductant. Chloride, bromide, iodide they are reductants. सेथि पई तो सबुठु बेस्ट होचे dilute sulfuric acid यूज करबा for gas formation reaction. Even not HCl. HCl में झमेला है. Chloride ion is a good reductant. It will be oxidized to chlorine gas, bromine gas, bromine vapor, but it will be condensate. It will be a liquid at room temperature. then iodine get vapor, which will be condensed to a solid. So never ever take HCl, HBr, HI for any study. They will provide H plus, but they will provide a good oxidant. If at all there is good reductant. If there is some oxidant in the reaction, and that will pick up chloride ion. And later on, you will know that why when chloride ion will be picked up by oxidant and when it will be rejected. For example, sulfuric acid, I am just giving you an example. Here, the first case, there will be no. These are Kong sulfuric acid, HI. All are Kong sulfuric acid, HCl. No reaction. Because Kong sulfuric acid has no capacity to oxidize chloride into chlorine. It all depends on the oxidation potential, which we will be taught in electrochemistry in class 12 program. But I used to say, when Omkar's brother was with me, because of Rudra, his brother, we studied the entire electrochemical aspects of redox reactions, spending a lot of classes to know the logic why this is happening, this is not happening in redox reactions. Metathesis reactions are only 11 types. Every day I will be discussing, I've discussed 3 types today. And gas formation reaction, double displacement is very common, and ammonium salt with a base. But redox reactions are unlimited. So to streamline the redox reactions, we must know the potential of a particular couple. Say lead is going from +4 to +2. That couple has what tendency to be reduced? That is called reduction potential. Its value is known. It has been experimentally determined. Its value is known. All supposing chloride, chlorine, bromide, bromine, iodide, iodine, their potentials are known. If you say chlorine, chloride, bromine, iodide, iodine, iodide, bromine, bromide, iodine, iodide, these are in the reduction sequence, gain of electrons, so reduction potential. If you say chloride, chlorine, bromide, bromine, iodide, iodine, then it is an oxidation sequence. So oxidation potential, which are just opposite in sign. The numerical values are same, but the signs are opposite. So, and the sulfuric acid will go to SO2. SO2 from +6 to +4. So its potential is something. And bromide to bromine potential is something. It will give bromine, and the obvious product is water. So since this is happening, that means which is oxidizing, which is really reducing, that this one. So the reduction potential of sulfuric acid to SO2 is more than the reduction potential from bromine to bromide. Therefore, bromide ion is being oxidized to bromine. All these things, let me not go into those details, because in that batch, there were so many guys along with Rudra who were very, very passionate about learning. So I was tempted to make a series of videos relating to these electrochemical aspects of redox reactions. But here chloride to chlorine, chlorine, supposing bromine to bromide, this is say 1.09 volt. These are all expressed in volt. And sulfuric acid, let me find out, because this is age of Google, ChatGPT, AI. So you can just in your fingertip you can know anything. The ones why you are raising your hand?
Sir, I have a small doubt.
Yes.
Sir, we treat this PbO2 equation as a redox reaction.
Just a minute. Mhm. Yes. Tell me your doubt.
Sir, do we treat this PbO2 reaction as a redox reaction instead of the metathesis that we are doing before?
What?
Sir, we treat this reaction as a redox reaction, PbO2 thing.
Yeah,
So,
because
sir, exactly how do we recognize, sir, why is it not metathesis, sir? How do we recognize that?
well, that that is precisely what we did in about 10 lectures they have attended, because I told I'll be making for the general public. So say attended those years. So then you will know in all different types of reductants, oxidants, and their potentials. Then you tally if it is really a oxidizing agent or not. If it is not, then it will go for metathesis. And metathesis are only 11 in number, which I will be in this program also. I will be telling you in every day. Today 3, another 9, 8 I will be doing. And the rest will be redox. This is the trick that I say. Beyond the 11 types, all others are to be treated as redox. And some other tricks I give. Supposing you find one of the elements, one of the reactants is an element, then definitely it will go for a compound formation, or it will change. Not compound, maybe it is converted to an ion. Of course, ion has a partner, it is a compound. So several tricks. Then when no element is there, then you look to sulfuric acid. Is a very good oxidant, particularly concentrated. Nitric acid is a very good oxidant in all concentrations. Then you know at concentrated nitric acid अगर होगा तो क्या product होगा NO2. अगर moderately concentrated होगा तो क्या product होगा NO. Dilute होगा तो N2O. Laughing gas. हमने कल डिस्कस किए थे इसके बारे में, परसों, I mean day before. So in this, now see, this sulfuric acid what I got, it is yeah, it is very small. Minus. So this has got a very high potential than this. Therefore, this will be reduced. No. Let me stop here, because here there is something called Nernst equation is coming. At high temperature, its potential will be much greater. Supposing it comes at high temperature, because temperature plays a very important role in changing the potential. That equation in thermodynamics that you will study in your class 11 program is Nernst equation, where supposing it goes to 1 point, say, I said minus point something at standard state, means 25 degrees Celsius, not STP, standard state. But when you heat it, then its potential will drastically change. Suppose it becomes 1.2, which is greater. So since this reduction potential becomes greater, reduction will happen. And automatically the other one, the other partner, chalo, the other partner cannot be used as oxidizing agent. Bromine cannot be used. Rather, its a reductant partner can be used as reductant, so that a stronger oxidizing agent can be reacting with a poorer oxidizing agent, which will be acting as a reducing agent. The one which is in the reduced state, that will be the reducing agent. This is 0, this is -1. So the component which is in the reduced state is the reducing agent. That's ironically sounds very funny. The species which is in the reduced state will act as a reducing agent, and the species which is in the oxidized state will act as the oxidizing agent. So this is in the reduced state will act as a reductant, and it will be undergoing oxidation to chlorine. Had it been so, here, but this doesn't happen in case of chlorine chloride. Now, since we are talking in terms of reduction potential, so this is 1.36. So sulfuric acid jete heat gole bi there 1.2 ku gala tuni ta hi paribani ki wase war pakapaki 1.3 ku gala to convincingly बढ़िला नहीं तेणु करी एटा ही पारिबो नहीं किंतु एगुडा का आराम रे एटा 0.54 एटा आराम रे हीट कर देला माने पड़ी जीवो से immediately iodine variable SO2 plus I2 plus water. You get a violet, intense violet color vapor when you heat any iodide salt. What to speak of HI? Because if you take sodium iodide, there will be in between, there will be double displacement reaction, HI will be formed. And then HI is a very good reductant because of I minus, not because of H plus, I minus. And that will produce iodine with sulfuric acid. We close it here. Otherwise, you are dragging me to a Pandora box for you. Pandora. When I open the Pandora box, you will pandify. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm kidding. So, how many of you could appreciate what is going on? What I wanted to impress, that redox reactions have a logic, and with respect to their potentials, they undergo reaction. If the potentials are not satisfied, then such reaction will not happen. The one which will happen at a lower temperature can happen at a higher temperature. For example, you see KMnO4 plus HCl. This reaction will happen at room temperature. I think I gave you this reaction for balancing. Can you predict the products? मेरा टी क्यों नहीं आ रहा है? ये क्या हो गया है? ये जमाना खराब हो गया है. Oh, I'm sorry, I missed the public video. Hello. Those who are watching from the YouTube and following, say hi.
Sir, question ଟା ଆଉଥରେ ଦେଖିପାରିବେ?
KMnO4 plus HCl. ତାର କଣ HCl ଦେଲି? This reaction will happen at room temperature because the potential values will match. I mean, someone is higher, someone is lower distinctly. So the one which is higher will be undergoing reduction. The one which is lower, its reducing, I mean, its reduced state component will act as a reductant. Here, the reduced state component is Cl minus, not Cl2. This will be oxidized to chlorine. But look to the beauty. Same chlorine will if I write down the ionic equation, it will be better. Here sulfuric acid is dilute. It is only there to provide H plus ion, not act as an oxidant. It is calm sulfuric acid at a higher temperature acts as an oxidant. dilute sulfuric acid never acts as an oxidant. Well, of course, if you say that why any active metal like zinc, sodium, whatever, even with dilute sulfuric acid can displace hydrogen. Is it not a oxidizing agent? But here H plus is the oxidizing agent, not SO4 2-. But when Kong sulfuric acid is used as a higher temperature, SO4 2- is the oxidant. Sulfur going from +6 to +4 gives sulfur dioxide gas. So here, if you take sulfuric acid dilute, yes, it will act as an oxidant, but here the hero is H plus. You could have as well taken HCl, HBr, HI, whatever. Don't take HNO3. It will not give you hydrogen. It will give you some, damn NO, NO2. Never give H2, particularly for zinc. Very few, only 2 metals, they have been found to produce hydrogen in very dilute nitric acid, 1% W/W. So, W/V. So, এটা displacement হচ্ছে ZnSO4 plus H2. Here, the ionic equation, that is why I am giving so much of importance to ionic equation. Here, the hero marker will be this. But here, the hero marker will be something, here. Here, the hero marker will be SO4 2- plus Br-. Of course, it is happening inside in the acidic medium. So that has to be there. Otherwise, reaction can't, electron transfer, water formation. So H plus is a helper. But the oxidant is SO4 2- will give you SO2 plus Br2 plus water. You can balance this equation if I want. You can immediately balance this equation because, by ion electron method, you can balance, and you can also ensure whether water is to be there in the right side or it will be there in the left side. In some cases, you found that both H plus and water can remain on one side. Both OH- and water can remain on one side, and that too in the left side. Very interestingly, that happens. So, এটি কোন হবো কি কই পারল? Yes, Swamjit কইলো।
Sir, KCl plus water plus MnCl2 plus chlorine gas.
Yes, ଆରଥରକ ଆମେ କହିଥିଲେ ଯେ manganese ସବୁବେଳେ +7 ରୁ +2 କୁ ଯାଏ in acidic medium, but alkaline medium, basic medium ରେ something different, +7 ରୁ +6 କୁ ଯାଏ, neutral medium ରେ +7 ରୁ +4 କୁ ଯାଏ। ସେଗୁଡାକ final details ମଧ୍ୟ ଆମେ discuss କରିଥିଲେ ରୁଦ୍ର batch ରେ, so that I will be giving you in installments. So ଏଠି କଣ ହେଲା ନା manganese ଗଲା +7 ରୁ +2 and chlorine -1 ରୁ 0। କାହିଁକି ନା ୟାର ଯୋଉ potential ଟା ମୁଁ କହିଦେଲିନି ମାନେ confusion ନ ହଉ ସେଥିପାଇଁ କହି ତ ଦେଲିଣି। ୟାର ଯୋଉ Mn permanganate to manganese 2+ ତାର potential ଟା is very high, 1.58 volt. Chloride to chlorine, I'm sorry, chlorine to chloride reduction potential is 1.36, distinctly more. So ये आ संगरे chlorine रो किसी reaction होगोनी, rather तुम जो chloride salt दबो, then it will react, because the one which is at higher reduction potential will undergo reduction, and the one which is at a lower reduction potential, you have to, if you select the reduced state component chloride ion, then it will react, and the cell EMF, the potential difference of that so-called cell, this is the half cell. Oh my God, I'm not leaving my bad habit. Okay, forget about it. So এটা হলা কিন্তু এইটি ক্লোরিন, এটা কাহিঁকি হলা এটা 1.58 আর 1.36 বলি, কিন্তু এটি ক্লোরিন ফেরাস দেখো, ক্লোরিনটা এটি ক্লোরাইড হবে, এটি ক্লোরিন ইজ OA and ferrous ion is RA, so ferrousটা ফেরিক হଉଛି and এইটা ক্লোরাইড হଉଛି প্লাস ওয়াটার। এটা ମୁଁ আয়নিক ইকুয়েশন কହୁଛି, কারণ ফেরিক টু ফেরাস ମୁଁ উল্টা করছি, is only plus 0.77, and chlorine to chloride is 1.36. So this will happen. This reduction will happen. Therefore, ferrous to ferric oxidation cannot happen. Ferric to ferrous reduction cannot happen. One reduction, one oxidation. So if chlorine can be reduced to chloride because it has got a higher reduction potential, and ferrous to ferric, ferric to ferrous reduction potential is lower. Therefore, the actual happening will be ferrous to ferric conversion. Oxidation of ferrous to ferric will happen because it means ferric to ferrous reduction potential is much less than chlorine to chloride. Therefore, ferrous will act as a reductant. It will be oxidized to ferric, and chlorine will act as an oxidant. It will be reduced to chloride ion. If upare mundare kichi kichi chali jauchi, it is good sign. You are in a right track. ମୁଁ ତ ଜାଣିକିରି ସେମିତି କହୁଛି ମୁଁ ଚାଲି ଯାଉ ତୁମେ ଜାଣ ଯେ ମୋ ସାଙ୍ଗରେ ସାଙ୍ଗ ହେବାକୁ ହେଲେ ତମକୁ you have to love science, you have to love chemistry. ବର୍ତ୍ତମାନ ମୁଁ ତ chemistry କେବଳ କରିବି, but we have a lot of physical chemistry, we have a lot of our physics ideas. I'm not talking about kinematics or any other electricity. Yes, electricity idea will be there, not mechanics will be involved here, but some concept of physics will be involved, will be definitely required. Now, what I was saying here at 0, 2 plus 2, this, if you look to Zn2 plus 2 Zn potential, it is minus 0.76, while hydrogen plus 2 hydrogen, that potential is 0. That is the standard for comparison. So 0 is more than minus 0.76. Therefore, hydrogen ion will be reduced to hydrogen gas, and therefore the reduced state component in this couple is zinc. It is in 0. That will undergo oxidation. The reduced state component will act as Ra, and the oxidized state component of this couple H plus and H2 is act as the OA. Got it? Raise your hands who are at least able to appreciate, may not understand 100%. I'm saying, I'm deliberately saying not to understand 100%, but at least to get a feel what is going on, what will happen. These things are really not that difficult. That feeling के लिए मैं ये सब आपको बोल रहा हूँ, आपको पढ़ा नहीं रहा हूँ. Kaishbal, you are not able to appreciate. Oh yes, Vaibhav, you are a old guy. I'm sorry, you are a young man. An old guy means you had attended several classes, but you are Chinmayita is not raising her hand. Chinmayita, you are a old girl. Sorry, you are a big girl. ঠিক আছে, be honest, বুঝি না পারলো, let us not be dishonest. যদি কিছু কিছু বুঝিল ଅଧା ହାତଟେ ଏମିତି, ଓକେ, ମତେ ଗାଧେଇ ଉଠିବାକୁ ପଡିବ, ବେଗିଂ କରିବାକୁ ପଡିବ. beggars have no choice. କଣ କରାଯିବ? Oh yeah, it was it was on transit on air. I grabbed it from air. ବନ୍ଧୁଗଣ, ଆଉ ଏଥିରେ ମାତିବାନି, ବହୁତ ମାତି ଗଲେ କେମିକାଲ ରିଆକ୍ସନ୍ସ ରେ. ଆମେ ଯିବା
Sir, yes sir. Sir, ଆମେ ଯେତେବେଳେ ଗ୍ୟାସ୍ ଫର୍ମେସନ ରିଆକ୍ସନ କରିଥିଲେ ସେଠି ଯୋଉ ଥିଲା H2O3 2 minus plus H plus ion, ତ ସେଠି ହଉଛି ପ୍ରଡକ୍ଟ ଆସିଥିଲା SO2 S ଆଉ H2O. ତ ଏଇଟା ଗୋଟେ ମେଟାସିସିସ୍ ରିଆକ୍ସନ. ତ ଏଠି ଯେତେବେଳେ ଆମେ ଦେଖୁଛେ H2 ର ଏଠି S ହଉଛି, ତ ୟାର ତ ନମ୍ବର ଚେଞ୍ଜ ହଉଛି. ଆଜ୍ଞା ସାର୍,
SO3 ना SO2 ये ना
H2O3 H2O3
हाँ कौन को
सर एठी H रो ऑक्सीडेशन नंबर और H2 रो ओरे H रो ऑक्सीडेशन नंबर चेंज हो जे एठी H2O3 H रो ऑक्सीडेशन और खाली H रो ऑक्सीडेशन दीटा चेंज हो जी
that is there पूरा टोटल हाइड्रोजन 80 +1 80 +1 कौन सुधा
सर H सॉरी सर H2 और H रे
अरे पूरा को कहितली एइटा को जदी तार स्ट्रक्चर देखिबो एते थोर कहली तमु जदी स्ट्रक्चर देखिबो ताहले एठी ऑलरेडी जीरो स्टेट रो अछि जीरो को पळे आसे जस्ट ए बॉन्ड टा भांगी वाला खाली the acid is responsible to break the bond and sulfite ion ରୁ ତ SO2 ବାହାରେ +4 ଟା +4 ରହିଲା ତେଣୁ ଏଠି କିଛି reduction oxidation ହେଲା ନାହିଁ କିନ୍ତୁ
ଆଜ୍ଞା sir
a common man a common student will see that +2 ରେ ଥିଲା ଏଠି +2 ରେ ସେ ବାହାର କରିଦବ x method ରେ ଏଠି 0 କୁ ଗଲା and +2 ରୁ ଥିଲା +4 କୁ ଗଲା it is a disproportionation reaction ସେ କହିବ but actually this is not ଏଇ ଜିନିଷ ଗୁଡାକ ଜାଣିଲେ ତୁମେ हायर लेवल परीक्षा पर्टिकुलर जो आईआईटी एडवांस होउचंती कि अन्य कोनसी भल परीक्षा एई छोट छोट थॉट प्रोवोकिंग जिंस पड़िबो ए प्रोफेसर करिवो क्वेश्चन ए कोनसी कोचिंग सेंटर रा टीचर करिवे गोटे आईआईटी रा प्रोफेसर करिवो क्वेश्चन से पुनी गुटे गुटे क्वेश्चन को से गोटे गोटे दिन से माने भाबंती तापर वर्कआउट करंती तार एफिकासी स्टडी करंती हेई परिबो कि नाही केतोडा को प्रैक्टिकल ताकर रिसर्च प्रॉब्लम टा को सिंपलीफाई करके दियंती गोटे इनऑर्गेनिक प्रोफेसर से गोटे एनालिसिस करूची गोटे जिंस ताकू सिंपलीफाई करके से क्वेश्चन करिवे बहुत बढ़िया देखो तमे मुटिके किसी समय स्लाइड यूज करी तमे जानी जो that isotopes there are many elements which do not have multiple isotopes only one they're called monoisotopic and the common examples of monoisotopic elements is sodium 23 fluorine 19 phosphorus 31 iodine 127 manganese 55 cobalt 59 and so many I have listed here monoisotopic elements and others have multiple some of them have radioactive isotopes we were discussing in Puri in Bismay school that potassium has 3 isotopes one of them is radioactive potassium in the nature I am not talking of synthetic तो सब हो जाउची जोटा असंभव सेटा संभव हो जाउची सिंथेटिक से जानि छी जिसको केमति बाडिया पिटा डो प्रोजेक्टाइल माडो हे कि केमति साइक्लोट्रॉन रे ताको एक्सेलरेट करी करी केमति टारगेट रे ढो कि पिटी देले चेंज हे गला यू कैन गेट एनी आइसोटोप कार्बन 11 पाई परिबो सोडियम 22 पाई परिबो मैग्नीशियम 27 पाई परिबो कोन न पाई परिबो इट इज नॉट अवेलेबल इन but potassium रा nature रे अछि potassium 39 which is most abundant more than 99% 99 to टिके कम but therefore हमें यूज करजु average atomic mass near 39 potassium 40 which is radioactive is a beta emitter and potassium 41 which is stable 1 point केते परसेंट अछि एटा 98 point केते so average असले एटा ट्रेस एटा 0 ट्रेस तो नुहे 0.0 something percent so एटा कर एवरेज है 39 पाखा पाखी आसुची so in our mole concept calculation we are taking the molar mass of potassium as 39 gram per mole which we are not doing that for bromine has two stable isotopes 79 and 81 in the ratio 1:1 therefore the average is fortunately in arithmetic average 80 so we are using atomic mass of 80 for bromine but there is no 80 वाला bromine कोई नहीं है अगर आप पूछोगे bromine 80 हाजिर हो कोई आपको है हाँ हाँ जी मैं हूँ कोई नहीं कहेगा रादर आपको एक 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 इसको क्या बोलते हैं, एक हिंदी में क्या बोलते हैं, जाबड़ा, एक यस, एक
सर थप्पड़ बोलते हैं।
थप्पड़।
थप्पड़, चांटा, चांटा कौन कौन, चांटा नुहे, चांटा चांटा। किंतु क्लोरीन तुम जानी क्लोरीन 35 और 37 दीटा अच्छी जो स्टेबल, तार रेशियो किंतु नेचर 3:1, तेणु करी तार एवरेज हला को एक्चुअली एवरेज टा होची वेटेड एवरेज, इट्स नॉट अरिथमेटिक एवरेज, अमुक प्लस अमुक बाय 2, अमुक प्लस अमुक प्लस अमुक बाय 3 नो, तो रिलेटिव एबंडेंस को हमें नेकरी करिवे ताको वेटेड एवरेज 3 into 35 plus 1 into 37 by 3 plus 1, so it asla पाखापाखि 35.5 आमे यूज करछे। सेमती टीन रो 10 टा आइसोटोप अछि, हाईएस्ट नंबर जेनोन रो 9 टा स्टेबल आइसोटोप अछि, टीन रो एसएन रो बड़ा वाला एसएन 10 टा आइसोटोप अछि, कार कार रेडियो एक्टिव आइसोटोप ए कलम रे रेडियो एक्टिव आइसोटोप तुमको मु देई देबी, भाबे लिस्ट ता पाखरे अछि, माने आ तुमको देई देबी, ओके। So you know how to find the average. Yes. Sulfur ro kahinki 32 no hoche, jadiyo sulfur ro dita stable isotope 32 and 34, because the most abundant isotope has a percentage more than 90%, so automatically average nele sei concept re amku 32 pakapaki asibo. But those which are monoisotopic tankaro average kichi no thai, and their list I have given, you know, yes, these are the 21 elements, which are 19 are more common. Two, actually these two have been found now to be radioactive. Even bismuth is now found to be radioactive, but it can be treated as stable. ସେଥିପାଇଁ ଆମେ ସ୍କୁଲ ରେ ପଢିଲା ବେଳେ କେବେ bismuth ପର୍ଯ୍ୟନ୍ତ ଆମେ stable ବୋଲି କହୁ, but recent research has revealed bismuth is an alpha emitter, bismuth 209, and its half-life period is 10 to the power 19 years, which is nearly 10 to the power 9 times, 1 billion times greater than the age of the universe. So as if it is not happening, but they have detected it is decomposing in such a, decaying in such a slow rate that it is to be treated as stable, but really it has been found that it is radioactive, having an enormously high half-life period. Otherwise 19. Chlorine, iodine, cesium, gold, cobalt, manganese, arsenic, and this particular isotope. Now, maybe I told you or I did not, I don't know. So nowadays, mass spectrometers are available to determine the exact isotopic mass, correct, up to multiple places after decimal point. Maybe 10 places after decimal you can get. For example, 35 isotope of chlorine, you will get 34 point. For example, I'm just giving a fictitious value, 34.997862592. So such a precise measurement is possible by using a mass spectrometer, which makes use of a magnetic field, a magnet, North Pole, South Pole, and here the chlorine gas is taken, any element in the gaseous form is taken, and an electron impact is made with a particular energy, so that it will knock out one electron from every atom. It will make it first atom, it will atomize it if it is a diatomic molecule, or it is a solid, it will to sublimate it to vapor, atomic state, then it will knock out one electron to give a monopositive ion. By removal of one single electron will not make the mass change significantly, so the change is simply ignored, because if you just pluck out a hair from, I don't have a hair, I can't pluck, oh yes, if you pluck out a hair and then take your weight in, I'm sorry, a mass in a weighing machine, then you will find there is no change. The hair has a negligible mass. So that we have to compromise. And then the positive ions are required, because when they pass, 35 plus 1, 37 plus 1, they are in the ratio 3:1. That is God made. When they will enter into the magnetic field, they will make, you can apply the Fleming's rule, they will make a curvature. It will not go straight, it will take a curvilinear motion. And their radii of curvature will be different depending on their masses. More is the mass, is the less is the curvature, radius of curvature. So supposing there are two, 35 plus 35 and 37, 35 will be towards the end, will be curved more, 37 will be curved less. And they will be falling on a detector, which are electronic detectors. They will convert the ions into respective current, and then current maybe micro level or milli level current, and that will be reflected in a graph. And the graph height, the intensity of the current will tell you the abundance ratio. The height will tell you one column, one peak will come. I have shown it here. Yes. So this is taking a curvature. Supposing there are three isotopes, oxygen 16, 17, and 18, and you put it in a ion source where O2 molecule is atomized, and then electron impact EI is made to pluck out one electron from each oxygen atom. And there are three types category. They will have a different curvature. The 18 will have the least curvature, 16 will be bent more. They will be falling on the detector, and detector will be converting these ions into current, and from that you will get a graph. You will get a graph. That graph will tell you 16 exactly. यहाँ लिखा होगा, ऊपर लिखा होगा 15.99789. यहाँ 17 ऊपर लिखा होगा 16.98955. ऊपर लिखा होगा 18. यहाँ एक पीक मिलेगा, बड़ा सा पीक. यहाँ छोटा सा दिखाई नहीं देगा unless you expand it. यहाँ सो परसेंटेज भी लिखा होगा यहाँ 99.8. This is 0.02. This is 0.2. I think my calculation is correct. 79 or add the 10 এটা কেতে হবে 0.02
Sir, 99.78 ବୋଧେ
78 ଦଶ ଏଠି ହେଲା 1 ଗଲା ଏଠି 2 2 1 3 7 10 yes 99.78% ହଉଛି 16 କିନ୍ତୁ ଏଠି ଲେଖା ହେଇଥିବ 15.97 ମୁଁ କହୁଛି ଗୋଟେ ଏଇଟା ତ ମୁଁ ମନେ ରଖି ପାରିବିନି ଏଇଟା ସିନା ମନେ ଅଛି ମୋର percentage abundance ଟା ଏଇଟା 10ଟା ପ୍ଲେସ୍ ଡେସିମାଲ କିନ୍ତୁ very close to a whole number. The isotopic masses will be definitely close to a whole number. And when you round off to the nearest whole number, an isotopic mass, I'm not telling the average atomic mass, an individual isotopic mass obtained from the mass spectrometer is rounded up to the nearest whole number, you get the mass number of that isotope. And once you know the atomic number, you can subtract that from the mass number to get the number of neutrons that you. And if you put here tin vapors here, instead of oxygen, if you take tin vapors, you have to vaporize it and do the same job, you get 10 peaks. From 111 as a result, you will get the average of all the 10 peaks representing 112 armala. I'm just let me complete. The older methods which I have included in this file, the Dulong-Petit's law of isomorphism, they have been obsolete. When mass spectrometer has come up to find the exact atomic mass, very precise atomic mass, isotopic mass. After knowing the individual isotopic mass, we calculate the average based on the abundance which is known from the current density or the height of the peak. Guys who are watching video in the video in a later time, skip for some minutes because I'm drinking tea.
ସାର୍ ଏଇ ଯୋଉ ନମ୍ବରଟା ବାହାରେ କେମିତି?
କଣ ମା?
ସାର୍ ମାନେ ମୁଁ ପଚାରୁଛି କି ନମ୍ବରଟା ବାହାରେ
କୋଉ ନମ୍ବର?
ମାନେ ମାନେ ଅକ୍ସିଜେନ ଯେମିତି ବାହାରିଲା 15.978
ସେ କେମିତି ବାହାରିଲା?
ଆଜ୍ଞା ସାର୍।
ତୁମ କୋଉ ଯୁଗରେ ଅଛ ତମେ? ତୁମେ କୋଉ ମାନ୍ଧାତା ଅମଳର? ଯେତେବେଳେ ରାଜା ମାନ୍ଧାତା ଥିଲେ, ମନ୍ତ୍ରୀ ତୁମେ ବୋଧେ ମନ୍ତ୍ରିଆଣୀ ତୁମେ ବୋଧେ ଥିଲ ମାନ୍ଧାତାଣୀ। ଆରେ କରେଣ୍ଟ ଆଜିକାଲି ମିଲି ଲେଭେଲର କରେଣ୍ଟ, ଫେମ୍ଟୋ ଲେଭେଲର କରେଣ୍ଟ ତାକୁ ମେଜରମେଣ୍ଟ କରି ହଉଛି। ତେଣୁ ଯଦି କରେଣ୍ଟର ଡେନ୍ସିଟି କ୍ୟାନ୍ ବି ମେଜର୍ଡ correct up to 10 to the power minus 18 level. Atto 10 to the minus 18 is atto level जाके correct ही पाउची। तो ये कौन सी बड़ी बात है? तो you can know the relative abundance, 100% से convert कर दिया वाला। Actual current density ताकू percentage से convert कर दिया जाए। And current density can be measured up to the femto and atto level. Then माँ बुझिला?
ନା ସାର୍ ମୁଁ ସେୟା ପଚାରୁଥିଲି।
ଆଉ
ମୁଁ କହୁଥିଲି କି ଏ ଯୋଉ ଆଭରେଜ ଯାହା ବି ଏଇଟା ବାହାରିଛି ମାନେ ଏ ଯୋଉ ଭ୍ୟାଲ୍ୟୁ ରା ଅଛି 16, 17, 18 କିନ୍ତୁ ଏଟା ଅଛି 15।
15.97 something ଅଛି। ହଁ ହଁ କୁହ ପ୍ଲିଜ ଆସ୍କ ୟୋର କ୍ୱେଶ୍ଚନ।
ତ ସେ କହୁଥିଲେ କି ମାନେ ଏଟା କମୁଛି କେମିତି?
କମୁଛି କେମିତି ହବ? ଯେତେବେଳେ ରାଜା ମାନ୍ଧାତା ରାଜ୍ୟ କରୁଥିଲେ, ତମେ ସେତେବେଳେ ପ୍ରଜା ଥିଲ। ସେଇଟା ତ ତୁମକୁ ନେଚରକୁ ପଠେଇବାକୁ ପଡିବ। ଗଡ ଯଦି ବିଶ୍ୱାସ କରୁଛ ତାଙ୍କୁ ଗୋଟେ ଇମେଲ ଲେଖ, ତାଙ୍କର ଆଡ୍ରେସ ମୁଁ କହିଦଉଛି www.god.com। ସେ ୱେବସାଇଟରେ ତମେ ପାଇଯିବ ଇମେଲ ଆଇଡି ଲେଖ। କାହିଁକି ଏମିତି ପାତର ଅନ୍ତର କରିଛ? କ୍ଲୋରିନକୁ 35 କୁ ଦେଇଛ 75%, ୟାକୁ 25%, ଆଉ ଅକ୍ସିଜେନ 16 କୁ ଦେଇଛ ଏତେ, ଏଇଟା କମ। ୱେଲ ୟୁଜୁଆଲି ଆମେ ଯେତେବେଳେ ପଢିବା ନ୍ୟୁକ୍ଲିୟର ସାଇନ୍ସ ପଢିବା, which is very ill-defined in +2 stage now. They have removed nuclear chemistry from chemistry, kept only in physics. So how far with so much a vast course, how much justice can be done in physics? Only one part of science. I have all apprehension. देखो, nuclear science is saying that number of neutrons बढ़िले, what is expected of a stable nucleus, सबବେଳେ न्यूट्रॉन प्रोटॉन संख्या समान होगा ता नहीं। Even up to 20 calcium पर्यंत मध्य किछि anomalies nature रे अछि। While calcium 2040 is stable, potassium 1939 is stable, not 38. 38 is unstable. So neutron proton ଯେତିକି ନ୍ୟୁଟ୍ରନ୍ କୁ ଯେତିକି ପ୍ରୋଟନ୍ କୁ ଯେତିକି ନ୍ୟୁଟ୍ରନ୍ ହେଲେ stable ହବ, ସେଇଟା 20 ପର୍ଯ୍ୟନ୍ତ ଦିଟାଙ୍କର ନମ୍ବର ସମାନ। ପ୍ରୋଟନ୍ number is equal to neutron number. With some anomalies you can't question. If you question, then you ask, because children are answered maybe secretly by God. not to adults and particularly not to the old people like us. तमे answer पाइले मते कहबो. So there are some exceptions like potassium 39 ସେଥିରେ 19 ନଇକିରି 20ଟା ନ୍ୟୁଟ୍ରନ୍ ଅଛି. कार्बन 12 ओके, कार्बन 13 भी स्टेबल किंतु अधिका न्यूट्रन हे गले अनस्टेबल आछि. जल बहुले सर्वनाश, जल बिहुने सर्वनाश. I think those who are from English medium background don't shy away to hear from me some Odia dhagas because you are staying in Odisha. जल बहुले सर्वनाश मान न्यूट्रन संख्या जेतिकी भगवान करिसंती ताटू अधिका हले से मध्ये unstable radioactive and that will be mostly beta emitter. Beta particles are nothing but electrons. They're coming from the nucleus. By emitting beta particle, they reduce their neutron to proton ratio and stabilize themselves. सेमती जोटा जेतिकी दरकार धर कार्बन 12 करिसंती भगवान स्टेबल, कार्बन 11 जदि हमें सिंथेटिक आइसोटोप कर दबा करूचे which is again unstable. There is a band in this band time hari game they use to nuclear science re padibo. I used to take a course nuclear science more already video maybe 10 video achi public video, not like this. This is a live streamed video where I used to interact with students and I make fun. Fun is the hallmark of our program. चिन्मयी को हमें चिन्मयीता डाकिबा कि पायो जगह गीत बोलिबा पायो जी मैंने राम रतन घन पायो. किंतु सेटा मोर रेकॉर्डेड वीडियो सेटा मोर देखिबो तमे जतल समय पाइबो मोर प्लेलिस्ट को जायकरी न्यूक्लियर केमिस्ट्री वा न्यूक्लियर साइंस मना आदि दिबी because there is controversy. It is science, chemistry is less, physics more. So nuclear science आमे छाड़िबो काहे कि आमे काहे कि फिजिक्स को आमे केमिस्ट्री न कोइ कि आमे साइंस कंप्रोमाइज कर देलु. साइंस सूत्र देखिबो जे एनवाईपी कार्बन 11 टा मध्य रेडियो एक्टिव सेटा गुटे पॉजिट्रॉन एमिटर आमे सुनिथिले हमरो ये रे हमरो मिस्टर त्रिपाठी को स्कूल रे हमें देखिथिले पॉजिट्रॉन एमिटर इज नथिंग लाइक इट लुक्स लाइक इलेक्ट्रॉन बट हैव चार्ज लाइक प्रोटॉन. It is the anti-particle. It is the anti-particle of electron, as Americans say, anti-particle of electron. And British is anti, but Americans they pronounce as anti. I don't like anti. Anti ete bada tie. Anti kole kon asudha hoche. British English appreciate. So the new mother, I'm saying this is mother. This is the daughter nuclide is 5 because 5 plus 1 6 and same 11 because electron or beta particle has negligible mass. Compared to 1 unity for proton and neutron, this is negligible, 0 but it has a mass. So the new element formed becomes boron. Don't confuse beta particle with boron. So and similarly, if you have this is God made, this is synthetic, and this is God made. किंतु आमे तयारी करछु लार्ज क्वांटिटी रे आमे तयारी करछु सिंथेटिक नाउ. दिस इज प्रेजेंट इन ट्रेस क्वांटिटी. से ट्रेस क्वांटिटी मध्ये हम बॉडी भीतर अछि, गछरे अछि, सब अछि जो पर्यंत आमे बंचिछे कार्बन 14 रो बीटा. दिस इज अ बीटा एमिटर. जो माने जति कि हवा कथा जल बहुले बीटा एमिटर, जल बिहुने पॉजिट्रॉन एमिटर, बीटा रो एंटी पार्टिकल एमिटर. By doing so, they will improve their neutron proton ratio. By emitting beta particle, they will decrease their neutron proton ratio and become God made stable. So if this will be a beta -10, then this will be 7. The normal isotope of nitrogen will be formed after carbon 14, which is present in a very trace quantity. Now we prepare abundantly by synthetic methods. Dhoda method because they are very useful. Did I hit onto your question, Miss Payoja?
Yes, sir.
नहीं don't be sympathetic to me. Then I sir आपण आउट कोन कहले मु जहा कहउथली पचरथली से अलगा कथा कहले से कहि पारो ने मु तम क्वेश्चन टाको धरि पारली ना नाही सेटा मते जाऊ. अरे हां मते किछि एम्बारेसिंग लागिबनी आउ कोन पचरथलो एई जिंस पचरथलो काहे कि एटा अधिका हला काहे कम हला. न्यूट्रॉन संख्या बढ़िले सेटा अनस्टेबल आडको गति करे किंतु ऑक्सीजन 16 17 18 यही अनस्टेबल नुहे ता उत्तर तो मु देई पारिबिनी while potassium रो गोटे बढ़े देले potassium 40 टा अनस्टेबल हे जाउची वेल तार आंसर लोक पाइलेनी क्वांटम मेकानिक्स तो आसी गला पाइलेनी न्यूट्रॉन न्यूट्रॉन मध्ये पेयरिंग हुए प्रोटॉन प्रोटॉन मध्ये न्यूक्लियस भितरे जेमति इलेक्ट्रॉन तमे किछि एडवांस स्टडी करिथिबो पढिबो ये रे इलेक्ट्रॉन गोटे ऑर्बिटल रे पेयर हेई थाए जदि गोटे क्लॉकवाइज स्पिन घूर्णन करे आरटा एंटी क्लॉकवाइज घूर्णन करिवो गोटे ऑर्बिटल भितरे दीटा को गोटे दिगरे घूर्णन करि पारिबोनी घूर्णन मीन्स नॉट रोटेशन आवर्तन में घूर्णन स्पिन करिवो अपोजिट डायरेक्शन सेमथि न्यूक्लियस भितरे मध्ये पढले पढिबो जे प्रोटॉन माने मध्ये घूर्णन करूथांती बुलंती नहीं ट्रांसलेटरी मोशन तांकर नाही किंतु तांकर स्पिनिंग मोशन अछि गोटे क्लॉकवाइज स्पिन कर गोटे एंटी क्लॉकवाइज सो दे आल्सो प्रोड्यूस मैग्नेटिक फील्ड दे कैंसल देयर मैग्नेटिक फील्ड्स बाय पेयरिंग सो प्रोटॉन संगे प्रोटॉन पेयरिंग करि परिबो थे नियम अछि सिलेक्शन रूल प्रोटॉन संगे न्यूट्रॉन पेयरिंग करि परिबोनी न्यूट्रॉन संगे न्यूट्रॉन interestingly although neutron has zero charge but is magnetic neutron ro magnetic field अछि being a neutral particle because it is staying in the influence of proton neutron itself is a magnetic in nature so gote neutron clockwise bole out anti clockwise semanakar madhya neutron pairing hoy ultimately jodi unpaired neutron bali padibo ki unpaired proton bali padibo sei mane stability कमे देबे स्फेरिकल सिमेट्री जो थिबो न्यूक्लियस रो ताकू टिके डिस्टॉर्ट करता को क्वाड्रुपल मोमेंट आसीबो तार बडले पडिबो जते क्वाड्रुपल मोमेंट बढिबो न्यूक्लियस रो स्फेरिकल सिमेट्री टा जते जते बढिबो न्यूक्लियस कथा को कहूची जते न्यूक्लियर जदि स्फेरिकल सिमेट्री जते कमिबो सेते सेते इंस्टेबिलिटी बढिबो सेति पई पोटेशियम 39 has one unpaired neutron 18 जो न्यूट्रॉन टा 99 से माने पेयरिंग कर देबे आ गुटे बळी पडिबो से चलिबो सेटर किछि असुविधा होनी देखा जाउची गवर्नमेंट कोन गवर्नमेंट तबी न्यूट्रॉन अनपेयर्ड होची 18 टा प्रोटॉन पेयरिंग हे जाउची 99 सागर किंतु 19 टा केते 939 होची 19 20 टा ना 19 टा प्रोटॉन टा अनपेयर्ड होची 20 टा न्यूट्रॉन पेयरिंग हे जाउची पर्टिकुलरली न्यूट्रॉन इज रिस्पांसिबल फॉर all these nuisance potassium 40 रे 21 टा न्यूट्रॉन अछि सेतरो 20 रे 10 टा न्यूट्रॉन बैलेंस हला परे गुटे न्यूट्रॉन बळी पडुची से दैट unpaired neutron is giving instability to potassium 40 which is a beta emitter जोटा कदली रे थाए जोटा विभिन्न प्रकार पनि परिवार पोटेशियम थाए माने पोटेशियम 40 भी अछि नेचर रे पोटेशियम जोटी पोटेशियम 40 एंड पोटेशियम 41 मध्ये जो 2% पाका पाके अछि सेटा स्टेबल काहे केला बे बुझी परिबा हमर अछि 20 सेते 22 टा न्यूट्रॉन अछि सो 11 दे बैलेंस इच अदर सो न्यूक्लियर स्टेबिलिटी पुनी पाई गला हम हाते सब बाण अछि ब्रह्मास्त्र भी अछि जोटी फेल मारिबा सेटी क्वांटम मेकानिकली अंक करी करी बुझी दउ क्वांटम मेकानिक्स माने जब देखिबा जे ही रोडियम पैलेडियम इमति कोन कॉन्फ़िगरेशन 5s रे किछि नाही 4d10 आगो 5s रे आसबा कथा दीटा की गोटे हेले गोटे हो गोटे किछि नाही d10 ई कोन चलले गाड़ी धरले अंक करले हां पैलेडियम रो डेंसिटी एतिकी हमको एतिकी समको एतिकी सेही अनुसार तार एटॉमिक कैलकुलेशन करिकी तार प्रूफ कर देले जे पैलेडियम रो एमटी पिला को बुझेई हबनी जे काहे की एमटी एनोमली हैला आउ कहर तो होनी प्लैटिनम रो तो हैला नहीं गोटे रहिला 6s1 रे बाकी गोटे गला 5d9 करियो कॉपर भी हेलानी ए सॉरी कॉपर कुछ मो निकेल रो तो हेलानी निकेल रो दीटा रहला 4s रे किछि गला नै 3d8 जहा रहबा कथा रहि गला किंतु प्लैटिनम रे 5s 0 4d10 किंतु प्लैटिनम रे 6s1 5d9 ये कोन एडा सब क्वांटम मैकेनिक्स वाला रेडी कलर भेडी करी बसिले हां हम बुझे दिलो फैक्टरी फॉक इक्वेशन यूज करके से आराम रे बुझेले सो हम कोन और टॉपिक दे सो बंधु कोन हम ब्रेक मारिबा कि हमें तो तुमे जति की इंटरेस्टेड पिला अछो आ हमें जदी एमती गप बोलिबा एटा सरी गला एटा टिके देखि दबो मु सब फाइल गुडा को तुमको एक्वेंट करेबी देन द नेक्स्ट फाइल এইটা যদি আজি সারি পারিবা that will be a great thing দেখো ମୁଁ ପ୍ରିଜ୍ୟୁମ କରିବି ଫଣ୍ଡାମେଣ୍ଟାଲ ମୋଲ କନସେପ୍ଟ ତମେ ସବୁ ଜାଣିଛ ନ ଜାଣିଛ ମୋର ମୋଲ କନସେପ୍ଟ ଉପରେ ଓଡ଼ିଆରେ ଇଂରାଜୀରେ ଭିଡିଓ ଅଛି ତମେ ଦେଖିପାର କି କୋଉଠି ପଢିପାର କିନ୍ତୁ ଆମେ ଟିକେ ଆଭୋଗାଡ୍ରୋସ୍ ଲ କଥା ଦେଖିବା ହାଉ ଇଟ୍ ଇଜ ତାକୁ ଇଭେନ ପ୍ରିନ୍ସିପଲ କହନ୍ତି ଆଭୋଗାଡ୍ରୋସ୍ ଲ ଟାକୁ ମନେ ରଖନ୍ତି ଇଭେନ କଣ ଇକ୍ୱାଲ ଭଲ୍ୟୁମ୍ସ have equal number of molecules or moles temperature and pressure remaining constant ମୁଁ ଫାଇଲ ସେୟାର କରିବି ତମକୁ ଯଦି ରାମା ଦାମା ସାମା ଯେକୌଣସି ଗ୍ୟାସ୍ ଟେମ୍ପରେଚର ପ୍ରେସର ଫିକ୍ସଡ ରଖିବ ତାହେଲେ ତାର ଭଲ୍ୟୁମ ସମାନ ରହିବ ସରି ଭଲ୍ୟୁମ ସମାନ ରଖିବ ତାହେଲେ ତାର ନମ୍ବର ଅଫ ମଲିକ୍ୟୁଲ୍ସ ବା ନମ୍ବର ଅଫ ମୋଲ ସମାନ ରହିବ କନଭର୍ସଲି ଯଦି ମୋଲ ସମାନ ରହିଲା ଟେମ୍ପରେଚର ପ୍ରେସର ସମାନ ରହିଥିବ ଯଦି ତାର ଭଲ୍ୟୁମ ବି ସମାନ उल्टाटा भी धर 0.5 मोल नाइट्रोजन नल N2 0.5 मोल CO2 0.5 मोल NO STP रे बा जेकोनसी फिक्स टेम्परेचर प्रेशर रे नेल देखिबो तार वॉल्यूम 11.2 लीटर से थिबो गोटे मोल रो जदी 12.4 सॉरी 22.4 देन 0.5 मोल रो निश्चय 11.2 लीटर से थिबो टेम्परेचर प्रेशर चेंज कर देले डेफिनेटली वॉल्यूम चेंज हे जिवो तो से गैस जिनस गुड़ाकर इंट्रिकेसीज गुड़ाक मु जणेबाकू आज मु चाहूची फଳରେ ତମେ ମୋଲ କନସେପ୍ଟ ରେ ପଢିବ ଅଙ୍କ ପଢିବ ଆମେ ଡିଟେଲ ଗ୍ୟାସ୍ କୁ ଯିବାନି ଗ୍ୟାସ୍ ଇଜ ଏ ଫିଜିକାଲ ସାଇନ୍ସ सॉरी फिजिकल केमिस्ट्री प्रोग्राम वेयर वी टेक रियल गैसेस लिक्विफैक्शन ऑफ गैसेस वैन डर वाल्स इक्वेशन सेगुडा सब एक्चुअल रियल गैस फिजिकल केमिस्ट्री बट यूजिंग गैस लॉज वी यूज्ड टू टेल टू क्लास 2 स्टूडेंट क्लास 2 आई एम सॉरी क्लास 9 स्टूडेंट सो this is mandatory now when we are entering into hardcore stoichiometry we must know all aspects of gas the even principle जो कहूची सीटा प्रूव करूची जे वॉल्यूम फ्रैक्शन ऑफ ए गैस और वॉल्यूम परसेंटेज ऑफ ए गैस ताको मध्ये कहती पार्शियल वॉल्यूम और वॉल्यूम फ्रैक्शन इज सेम एज मोल फ्रैक्शन क्योंकि वॉल्यूम इज डायरेक्टली प्रोपोर्शनल टू मोल्स सो वॉल्यूम फ्रैक्शन नबो इज सेम एज मोल फ्रैक्शन धर मु कहिबी एयर रे कि गोटे गैसियस मिक्सचर रे मोर अछि 78% नाइट्रोजन आ 22% ऑक्सीजन मु एयर नेलिनी एयर रे 1% अछि अन्य नोबल गैस अछि मॉइस्चर अछि कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड अछि से छाड़ 78 22% ऑक्सीजन अछि तेणु आमे जदि परसेंटेज नबा वॉल्यूम फ्रैक्शन बा पार्शियल वॉल्यूम ऑक्सीजन रो 22/100 and that is same as mole fraction मोल फ्रैक्शन माने कोन लिखि दियो मु जति के लिखुची तमे लेखो मोल फ्रैक्शन माने कोन जदि कंपोनेंट्स पांचटा अछि कि गोटे मिक्सचर रे नॉन रिएक्टिंग कंपोनेंट अछि दीटा तो धरो तार नंबर ऑफ मोल्स A by total number of moles Na plus Nb that is called the mole fraction of A जदि तीनटा कंपोनेंट अछि Na divided by Na plus Nb plus Nc पांचटा थिले पांचटा देखो सेमिति जदि दीटा थिबो ताले मोल फ्रैक्शन ऑफ B इज इक्वल टू 1 माइनस x जदि तीनटा थिबो अब दीटा बाहर करिया पड़ियो then 1 minus the sum of the two दीटा थिले बिकॉज़ फ्रैक्शन मानकर समष्टि सब बळे 1 you know समष्टि माने इंग्लिश पिला माने बुझि परिबेनी sum of all the fraction has to be 1 so if you found out one fraction mole fraction then the other one is 1 minus that why to again find which is same as Nb by Na plus Nb so this mole fraction this is called mole fraction these are individual moles mole fraction so volume fraction is same as mole fraction the presumption is that the gases are not reacting non-reactive gases so jodi ame 2 liter nitrogen sangare 1 liter oxygen miseiba they are not reacting react kona mane Gay-Lussac's law lagibo सेटा Gay-Lussac's law लागिबो से जोटा Avogadro law टाकू बाहर करिवारे सहाय्य करछि होछि Gay-Lussac's law सेटा लागिबो किंतु हम जदि रिएक्शन करूनी तबे 2 + 1 3 2 liter टा धर is proportional to say p moles 1 liter टा proportional to p by 2 moles. So dita ko misi gale p plus p by 2 जो 3p by 2 जेमती हला सेमती 2 लीटर संगे 1 लीटर मिसले 3 लीटर हला बट टेम्परेचर एंड प्रेशर समान रखियो पड़ियो धर एठी ऊपर किछि नाही खाली गोटे पिस्टन टे अछि ऊपर खाली अछि कि ना एटमॉस्फियर त माने एटमॉस्फेरिक प्रेशर पीठी ऊपर पडुछि सब बेले एटा 2 लीटर थिला आउ ता भीतर नाइट्रोजन थिला धर आउ सेठु पुरै दियो ऑक्सीजन 1 लीटर आउ गोटे 1 लीटर थिला आउ गोटे कंटेनर सेही 1 एटमॉस्फेयर प्रेशर रे ता हेदर पुरै दियो 1 लीटर ऑक्सीजन देखिबो संगे संगे पिस्टन बढ़ी जीवो सेटे ऊपर पीठी ऊपर से 1 एटमॉस्फेयर अछि किंतु 3 लीटर हो गेला because volume is directly proportional to number of moles or number of molecules सेति पई they are additive जदि non reacting हेतले pressure and temperature constant थिबो एटा देखै छी गैस ए 2 लीटर संगरे 1 लीटर अछि ओटे डिवाइडर टे अछि ताको मिसै दिया हला टेम्परेचर प्रेशर समान अछि दी जनकर मिसैल एक्जेक्टली 3 लीटर हो मोल फ्रैक्शन वॉल्यूम फ्रैक्शन एका कथा volume of one ith component by sum of the volumes of all the components that will call the volume fraction or partial volume is same as mole fraction. Mole fraction मध्ये बुझेछि सो तार अंक भी सब पॉइंट रे अंक अछि प्रैक्टिस करिवो 4 ग्राम हाइड्रोजन संगरे यदि 4 ग्राम ऑक्सीजन गैस मिसा जाए सेम टेम्परेचर प्रेशर रे ताहले मोल फ्रैक्शन केते आर मोल फ्रैक्शन केते गोटा को बाहर कर देला माने 1 रु माइनस कर देले आरटा बाहर जीवो so it's very simple you will do it the mole मु कर देई जीवी आगो मोल बाहर करियो पड़िवो देन गोटा को नबाक पड़िवो ऊपरे तळे दीटा को सम नबाक पड़िवो गोटा बाहरला माने 1 रु माइनस सो तुम निजे करिवो मु सब गुडा को करि देई छी तेनु तमे एटा होची मोस्ट इंपोर्टेंट कांसेप्ट तेबे जे कि आमे जिबा जे कोनो से जिंस को आज मु एडवांस मोल कांसेप्ट रो देई जीवी डाउ सॉरी कोन काली मु देई नथली कहीं मु सब जिन टच कर नी मोर जो फाइलटा अच्छी से फाइलटा देले तुम हरण घणार पड़ो आज किसी हरण घणार पड़ो आज का पर एडवांस मोल कांसेप्ट मु स्टोकियोमेट्री अंक देबेनी खाली एडवांस मोल कांसेप्ट फाइंड दी सपोजिंग दी तीनटा गैस अच्छी तार एवरेज मोलार मास एवरेज वेपर डेंसिटी एवरेज डेंसिटी मु एठी तुमको तुम सब अच्छो ना गलणी अच्छा अरे सॉरी आज कौन सोमवार आज कौन तुम तो स्कूल पर तुम तो अच्छा ये ऋतुपल्ली तो घरे अच्छा कोई बात ना 29 रे सरी जीवो जेतिकी जाके गला गला जेतिके न गला न गला जहा करबा हम भलसे करबा मोर प्लानिंग अछि जे स्टोकियोमेट्री जिंस गुडा को काली जदी सरी जीवो हम तो सब पागल भी भाजु ना ई हम गहन रे उपस्थित अछंती सब पागल किछि किछि अर्ध पागल मास्टर फुल पागल हला जदि किछि किछि पागल भी बाहर जीवो तांकर मास्टर कर तो बाळ नाही बाळ थिले पूरा पूरी झोट होई जाई थांता हम किछि कळा लगो कळा लगांती लोक भल लागे मते किंतु आर्टिफिशियल रंग लगियो भल लागे काहे कि ना काले रिएक्शन हबो किंतु हमें तो नो बाळ रे ई टिके टिके धळा बाळ रे हमें तो हीरो मार्का कला लगे कौन आम अधिका हीरो मार्का हवा विदाउट कलार आम एच मार्का सॉरी देख जदि मल्टीपल गैसेस अच्छी रिएक्ट करूनी सेमानकर गोटे एवरेज बाहर करिया पड़ियो जेमति आमे एटॉमिक मास रा एवरेज बाहर करथले आइसोटोपिक मास रा एवरेज करथले सेमति आमे करिया पड़ियो बिफोर दैट लेट मी टेल यू व्हाट इज vapor density that is very important term here which will be required for more concept gas manakara solids and liquids manakara जो पढ़ी फिजिक्स रे तांकर स्पेसिफिक ग्रेविटी ये वर्ड मते भल लागे नहीं गोटे ग्रेविटी कोन एक्चुअली रिलेटिव डेंसिटी सेटा हला कोन at a particular temperature and pressure रे यूजुअली 25 डिग्री सेल्सियस एंड 1 एटमॉस्फेयर प्रेशर रे कंपेयर करा जाए है जे डेंसिटी एटा हला कोन इज इक्वल टू डेंसिटी ऑफ द सॉलिड और लिक्विड जोटा को हमें बाहर करछ रिलेटिव डेंसिटी सॉलिड और लिक्विड बाय डेंसिटी ऑफ वाटर कहीं भगवान एमती करछंती वाटर रो डेंसिटी को ग्राम पर सीसी रे 1 करछंती नियरली 1 ग्राम पर cm cube in terms of आया 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 किए जोटा 1000 kg per meter cube करछंती जदि सेटा एसआई सिस्टम रे आ सीजीएस रे 1 सेति पे ताको गोटे कंपैरिजन पाई गोटे स्टैंडर्ड धरा हला वाटर थारु अन्य जो सॉलिड बा लिक्विड केते गुणा भारी सेटा हला सॉलिड लिक्विड पाई किंतु गैस मानक पाई जो कंपैरिजन टा वाटर विथ गैस वाला एते लाइटर ता डेंसिटी एते कम तार कंपैरिजन में लाइटेस्ट गैस के ना हाइड्रोजन सो ताकू ही कहते रिलेटिव आर मध्य रिलेटिव डेंसिटी आ ना जेमति स्पेसिफिक ग्रेविटी तार ना अछि रिलेटिव डेंसिटी ऑफ एनी गैस ताकू ही कहते वेपर डेंसिटी तार गोटे एटा गोटे भल लागुनी एक्चुअली एटा रिलेटिव डेंसिटी सेंति एटा जेंति भल लागुनी स्पेसिफिक ग्रेविटी सेंति एटा वेपर डेंसिटी और वीडी कैपिटल वी डी और कैपिटल डी खाली कैपिटल डी लिखिबो सेटा वेपर डेंसिटी को बुझेइबो सो दैट is equal to actual density of a gas or a vapor. Gas or vapor are similar, but a vapor can be liquefied by applying pressure. ताकू चाप प्रयोग करी करी ताकू जल लिक्विफाइड करी हबो तरलीकरण करी हबो खाली चाप किंतु जोटा को चाप प्रयोग करी करी के जेते चाप प्रयोग कले से मोटे तरल हबोनी सेटा ला गैस ताले केमति तरल हबो ताकू आमे गोटे टेम्परेचर पर्यंत ठंडा करियो पड़ियो से जो टेम्परेचर पर्यंत ठंडा करियो ताकू कहती से गैस ऑफ क्रिटिकल टेम्परेचर सोटा varies from gas to gas जो मानकर क्रिटिकल टेम्परेचर रूम टेम्परेचर टू जथेष्ट अधिक कार 100 कार 200 कार इवन कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड रो 30 पाखा पाखी 31 पाखा पाखी ठंडा दिन रे कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड को मारो चाप प्रयोग करो से लिक्विड हे जी सडनली लिक्विड को चाप प्रयोग करी सडन ताको इवापोरेट कर दबो इवापोरेशन कॉजेस कूलिंग सी इवापोरेट कोन हो सॉलिडिफाई करबो ताको दे ड्राई आइस जहार फ्रीजिंग पॉइंट होची -40 समथिंग आई गुटे मन को ड्राई आइस रो टेंपरेचर केते बाहर कर दो कोन तो कहउछ एरा किया एमते होची ड्राई आइस का घर ढेंकराल साइड अनुकूल ढेंकराल कार घर अछि किसी माइंड करियो -78.5 डिग्री सेल्सियस मनु कोन होई खाली चाप प्रयोग करी लिक्विड करो ठीक है 31 टू तळ करिया पड़े 25 इवन ठंडा दिन मान करे चाप प्रयोग कले गोटे पर्टिकुलर तार क्रिटिकल प्रेशर अछि 25 डिग्री रे केते प्रेशर देले से पानी हेई पानी माने कोन को H2 तारी पानी माने लिक्विड कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड सडनली एक्सपैंड करू सडनली से एक्सपैंड कोन हो सॉलिड हेई ताको चाप रे रखि थियो सॉलिड ओनली सॉलिड ड्राई आइस ताको दे ड्राई आइस शुष्क बरफ ताको जदि बाहर कर दिबो धुआं बाहरिबो जे डायरेक्ट कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड गैस को पळेबो सॉलिड स्टेट को कोन यार छोड़ गपुची अच्छा डेंसिटी ऑफ ए गैस और वेपर डिवाइडेड बाय डेंसिटी ऑफ हाइड्रोजन किंतु टेम्परेचर एंड प्रेशर सबुतरे कांस्टेंट रहय पड़ो ए गैस रो जा हाइड्रोजन रे से सेमती ए सॉलिड लिक्विड रो जा जो टेम्परेचर एंड प्रेशर रे वाटर मध्य से टेम्परेचर चेंज कले इंडिविजुअल डेंसिटी विल चेंज गैस डेंसिटी विल ड्रास्टिकली चेंज टिके टेम्परेचर चेंज कर दो प्रेशर कर दो गैस डेंसिटी किंतु रेशियो सब बेले कांस्टेंट एंड परवर्ती काल रे तुम जानिबो एटा खाली मन रखो एवोगाड्रोस लॉ ता प्रूव करिछि जे वीडी जोटा मु कहली वीडी कैपिटल डी एंड मोलर मास आर इंडिपेंडेंट ऑफ टेम्परेचर एंड प्रेशर सेटा कांस्टेंट independent of T and P. Why? The absolute density, परम वस्तु तो जोड़ा absolute density in gram per volume हो कि kg per meter क्यूब हो, density of gas varies significantly with change in either T or P or both. एंड तार जानिबा पे गोटे छोटकाटिया रिलेशनशिप भी मन रखि परिबो मोल कांसेप्ट रे भी करि परिबो आज करिबा D = प्राइम मिनिस्टर बाय RT P होची प्रेशर सेटा एटमॉस्फेयर के कन्वर्ट करिवो 760 रे हरि की M होची मोलर मास को लोकोसी कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड हेले 44 नाइट्रोजन हेले 28 आठ गोटे गैस कांस्टेंट यूनिवर्सल एटा मन रखिता अंक बेले दरकार हो इट इज कॉल्ड गैस कांस्टेंट यूनिवर्सल गैस कांस्टेंट सेटा 0.082 लीटर एटमॉस्फेयर पर केल्विन पर मोल पिछा गोटे केल्विन पिछा in liter and atmosphere, which is an energy unit. Liter into atmosphere is an energy unit that can be converted into joules. So whatever, এইଥିରେ ବର୍ତ୍ତମାନ ଅଙ୍କ କରିବ ଶିଖେଇବା ତାପରେ ଆମେ 8.3 ତାର ଯଦି SI ୟୁନିଟ୍ ହବ 8.3 0.082 liter atmosphere ଟା ହେଇଯିବ 8.3 joule 315 something approximately 8.3 joules per Kelvin per mole এটা দরকার হবে পরে গ্যাসিয়াস স্টেট বেলে এইটা যে ডেনসিটি ডেনসিটি ক্যালকুলেশন বেলে এ আরামরে 0.082 লিটার আটমোস্ফিয়ারে কারণ এইটি ভলিউমটা ভলিউম এটি নাই খালি প্রেসার আছে আটমোস্ফিয়ারে মোলার মাস তো গ্রাম পর মোল রে তেণু এইটা পর মোল রে আছে মোল মোল করি যাব টেম্পারেচারটা হচ্ছে কেলভিন রে দেବାକୁ পড়িব this should be in Kelvin and temperature in Kelvin in temperature in Celsius plus 273 তুমি জানিছ যে 273 add kale 273.15 আমি usually 273 Celsius scale রে add kale সেটা Kelvin scale রে হবে okay so এইটা atmosphere রে এইটা গ্রাম per mole রে এইটা যদি তুমি ইউজ করিব এইটা atmosphere কটি যাব কারণ আনসার যে ভারিব ডেনসিটি গ্রাম per লিটার রে ভারি কারণ এইটাকু নউছ লিটার এটি আছে এইটাকু নউছ গ্রাম রে গ্রাম per মোল 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 কটি যাব atmosphere কটি যাব গ্রাম per লিটার রে ভারি যদি তুমি প্রেসারটাকু সরি মোলার মাসটাকু নেই যাব কেজি per মোল কর দব 1000 রে হরিকি তো কেজি কর দব এটাকু আর টাকু মধ্য নাই আর কোচ তবে তোমার ভারিব কেজি per লিটার এটা পুনি লিটার রে আছে আকু পুনি মিটার কিউব করিয়া পড়িব সে বহুত অসুবিধা হবে বেটার টু ফাইন্ড ইন গ্রাম per লিটার পরবর্তী কাଳରେ ইউ নো দি কনভার্সন গোটে লিটারস অন কেতে মিটার কিউব তুমি আরামরে করি পারিব তুমি তো ফিজিক্স রে মধ্য ইকুয়ালি এক্সपर्ट সো ସବୁଠୁ ইন্টারেস্টিং কথাটা হলা এটা হলা যে VD is equal to molar mass by 2 ମୁଁ କହୁଛି ଯୋଟା independent of T and P for example carbon dioxide ର VD ହେଲା 84 by 2 22 ସେଟା ହାଇଡ୍ରୋଜେନ ଗ୍ୟାସ ଠାରୁ 22 ଗୁଣା ଭାରି ସେ ଯୋଉ টেম্পারেচার প্রেসার हो यार भी टेम्परेचर प्रेशर चेंज है तार भी टेम्परेचर प्रेशर रिलेटिव जिंस रेशियोटा कांस्टेंट सेमती नाइट्रोजन धर VD हला 28 by 2 14 ऑक्सीजन रो VD हला 32 by 2 16 सेति पई हम तले एवरेज बार करबा तले एवरेज बार करबा धर एयर रे अछि 78% नाइट्रोजन 21% ये कोन ऑक्सीजन आउ धर 1% आर्गन धर आउ केही ना आर्गन रो परसेंटेज अधिका धरनवा प्रिज्यूम करो 1% आर्गन करके एयर रो एवरेज वेपर डेंसिटी बहरे देता है 14.4 सेटा केमिति बाहर करबा जेमति हम एटॉमिक मास बाहर करथिले सेमति बाहर करबा एटा लास्ट देखो गोटे गोटे कंपोजिशन 78% नाइट्रोजन अछि आउ 21% ऑक्सीजन अछि आउ 1% प्रिसाइजली मु कहूची कैलकुलेशन करिया पई आर्गन एतिक अछि आको एयर 100% एयर बिली कहि परिबिनी is very close to air so तारो average VD average टा को एंती गुडे बार average VD करिया पड़िबो सेमती एका 78 into नाइट्रोजन होची 28 by 2 VD बार करतो माने 14 नबो plus 21 into 32 by 2 16 plus argon 1 into argon होची 40 by 2 20 so এটা যেতি কি বাহারিবো by 100 78 plus 21 plus 1 तमाने 100 यदि बाहरला सेटा हबो कारण परसेंटेज रे नै जे हमें तेणु 100 by 100 करियो पड़िबो कोन एटा हला केते बाहरला कहिलो ते कैलकुलेशन कलो हम गहण रे एबे भी उपस्थित अछंती रथे पायोजा सामल स्वयंजीत विस्मय त्रिपाठी आयुष्मान नायक आशुतोष सामल आउ देवांश साई श्लोक will be finishing usually amar 2.5 घंटा हे जाए 2 घंटा रो 2.5 घंटा हे जाए because this program is not a ये program में you will know later when you ସେମାନେ ଜାଣିଛନ୍ତି ଯେ ମୁଁ ଧର ଆଜି କ୍ଲାସ୍ ନେଲି 2 ଘଣ୍ଟା 2.5 ଘଣ୍ଟା I will not take any class for any level class 12 class ତମରି ଭଳିଆ ଅଛନ୍ତି still they are continuing to give me utmost pleasure ସେମାନେ ତାଙ୍କର ବନ୍ଦ suspended I will keep silent ଲେଖା ପଢା ଯାହା କରିବି କିନ୍ତୁ କଥାବାର୍ତ୍ତା କରିବି even I stop my practice my hobby is music so I also stop vocal music so
Sir, 14.48.
ପାଖାପାଖି 14.48 ସେଥିପାଇଁ এটা average ସେମିତି average molecular mass ମଧ୍ୟ ସେମିତି ବାହାର କରିପାରିବା 78 into 28 ତାର ଠିକ ଡବଲ लिखि दउछि सिना दैट एवरेज मोलेकुलर मास विल बी एवरेज Vd into 2 काहे प्रकार करिवि सो 14.48 into 2 जहा हो सेति नाइट्रोजन तो एते 78% रे अछि तो एवरेज Vd भी 7 नाइट्रोजन रो Vd पाखा पाखी एवरेज मोलार मास मध्यम 28 पाखा पाखी एटा मध्य तार डबल 216 रु 6 लाइक 208 के 9 208 ओके बर्तमान मु स्लाइड कंप्लीट कर दବାକୁ ଚାହୁଁଛି सो एवरेज मास सॉरी मास को एवरेज मोलार मास कि वेपर डेंसिटी किंबा डेंसिटी एब्सोल्यूट डेंसिटी मध्य तुम बाहर करि परिबो देखो ए जो रेशियोटा 78/100 এটা যদি অলগা कर दबो सेपरेट कर दबो 78/100 इज इट नॉट द मोल फ्रैक्शन और वॉल्यूम फ्रैक्शन और पार्शियल वॉल्यूम ऑफ नाइट्रोजन या सो मोल फ्रैक्शन ऑफ नाइट्रोजन इनटू 14 तार निजर Vd किबा 28 जदि मोलार मास बाहर करियो मोल फ्रैक्शन ऑफ ऑक्सीजन 21/100 0.21 into 16 or 32 1/100 0.01 into 20 that will give you the same result so formula hala kon sigma xi mi the mole fraction of each component of the gaseous component into its actual molar mass सेमती vapor density actual vapor density सेमती absolute density हेले actual density हेले actual density but ए भितरे big difference होची they are independent of P and T but you have to specify T and P हेले individual density भी change होबो so average density भी change होबो you have to specify T and P तर STP कंडीशन तब करछो कि रूम टेम्परेचर स्टैंडर्ड टेम्परेचर एंड प्रेशर कहले रूम टेम्परेचर 25 डिग्री को मीन करे एंड 1 एटमॉस्फेयर प्रेशर सो एटा छाड़ हम बहुत अंक देइछि करिवा को तमे करबो एटा मध्य से अंक देइछि कैलकुलेट द कंपोजिशन ऑफ ए गैसेस में उल्टाटा डेंसिटी दिहाइछि कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड आ मीथेन रो एवरेज डेंसिटी यार एवरेज डेंसिटी देइछि एक परसेंटेज बाहर करो ठीक धरो आर परसेंटेज वाई कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड रो आ गुटे मिथेन रहउची 100 माइनस वाई बस यार एब्सोल्यूट डेंसिटी बाहर कर दी परिबो एब्सोल्यूट डेंसिटी एटा Vd कोइछ ना कोन देछि एटा एब्सोल्यूट डेंसिटी आ गुटे pm/rt टा गुटे मेथड आ गुटे होची मोलार मास STP रे देथिले आउरी बढ़िया pm/rt टा एनी टेम्परेचर एंड प्रेशर पाई अमोघ अस्त्र किंतु एसटीपी रे आउ इजीली बाहर जीवो यदि गोटे मोल रो वॉल्यूम होची एसटीपी रे 22.4 ताले गोटे लीटर रो केते ना मोलार मास बाय मोलार वॉल्यूम दैट बिकम्स डेंसिटी एट एसटीपी किंतु अन्य टेम्परेचर प्रेशर एतरे बारिबोनी pm/rt सेटा गैस लॉ रो हेची फॉरगेट अबाउट दैट खाली प्राइम मिनिस्टर बाय आरटी करिवो सो एटा बाहरला इंडिविजुअल डेंसिटी एसटीपी रे यार इंडिविजुअल डेंसिटी बाहरला तो एटा हला परसेंटेज ऑफ कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड धरो y एटा 100 माइनस वाई तार डेंसिटी यार डेंसिटी बाय 100 कर देले एवरेज डेंसिटी बाहरला जहा बाहरला कोन एडी बाहरला हां ता एवरेज डेंसिटी देइची आई एम सॉरी एवरेज डेंसिटी इज इक्वल टू 1.214 एटा आर वैल्यू होची एवरेज डेंसिटी देइची तो ताको सॉल्व कले x बाहरला 40% सॉरी y बाहरला 40% CO2 आ 100 माइनस y टा हला मीथेन 60% पर 40% माने बाय मोल आमे बाय वॉल्यूम भी कहि परिबा इंडिविजुअल अलग अलग कर देले धरो अलग अलग कर दिया जाए सेम टेम्परेचर एंड प्रेशर रे ये 40 मिलीलीटर या 60 मिलीलीटर यार 40 लीटर या 60 लीटर ता भीतर 40 मोल हेला कोनी 40 मिलीलीटर ता 40 मोल हबो तार जेतिक मोल हबो तार रेशियो 40:60 बा 4:6 by 2:3 मोल रेशियो हबो वॉल्यूम रेशियो हबो तेणु मोल फ्रैक्शन संगे वॉल्यूम फ्रैक्शन समान तो अंक कले तुम जानी पारिबो एतक आज अंक कर आंसर भी देछि तापरे मु गोटे तुमको देबी एडवांस मोल कांसेप्ट गोटे तुमको देबी सेटा तुमको हाँ एटा एबे देई पारिबी जो मास कथा देछि इक्वल मास ऑफ नाइट्रोजन हाइड्रोजन एंड मीथेन आर टेकन इन ए कंटेनर इन आइडेंटिकल कंडीशन फाइंड द रेशियो ऑफ द वॉल्यूम्स ते नंबर ऑफ मोल्स को कन्वर्ट कर दबो मोल रो रेशियो जहा वॉल्यूम रो रेशियो से या एबे जान चलनी एटा तो करिबा नंबर ऑफ मोल्स ऑफ इलेक्ट्रॉन्स कैलकुलेट टोटल चार्ज ऑफ इन कूलम एडा सब किछि नो एडा सब तुम बायात का खेल आउ सब गैस रो कांसेप्ट मु कहि देलेनी एडा सब टिके करिबो स्टीपी सो गैस कांसेप्ट में जान सारछ कोई बात नहीं एई 17 खंड मु दे देली खाली जैसे कौन सी स्टोइकियोमेट्री नहीं रिएक्शन नहीं खाली सिंपल मोल कॉन्सेप्ट बस आज के लिए इतना ही थैंक यू वेरी मच मु देखे टिके टिके रुह मुजानी नाम कैंसिल करिया ना कौन भी करूची एटा कौन देलेनी छी 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 एटा कौन देलेनी हाँ हेलो एंड वेलकम अनिल सर नमस्कार आउ आज विदा होची आपण माने मध्य निज निज काम रे लागि जातु आउ जति समय हबो एते सीरियसली नियनि मो को आमे रहिबा एकाठी जदि सीरियसली नबो तो भलो न नेले नाही जदि सीरियसली नै कि भी सब सरलानी कहि दबो म सब सर परले नै यदि चेष्टा करली हला अन्य काम रहि गला तेल लुण संसार है कौन एंजॉय कर बाय बाय बाय
Thank you, sir.
थैंक यू सर
Thank you, sir.